All right, y'all. We give praise, esteem, and honor to Abba and Shamaim in the name of Yahuah HaMashiach this day. We pick us up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life. And they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I told my Abba's name, and you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you to Abba. There is one that accuses you, even Moses, in whom you trust. And had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? All esteem and praise to Abba and Shamaim in the name of Yahuah HaMashiach. 1 Chronicles 28 and 19, or 18.
19. All this said David, Yahuah made me understand in writing by his hand upon me all the works of this pattern.
Indeed. Exodus 25 and 8. Peace, Brother Omar.
And let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them, according to all that I show you, as the pattern of the tabernacle and the pattern of the instruments thereof. Even so shall you make it.
Even though shall you make it. So we in Leviticus 3 and 1. Let's go.
And if his oblation be a sacrifice of peace offering, if he offered of the herd, whether it be a male or female, he shall offer it without blemish before Yahuah.
Stop. Interesting enough, we just heard Judah say that. Talking about now, somebody, Derek said something that my dog don't understand. That's something that y'all should understand. So for the few that have got here at the beginning, according to this text, where does it say that one is born in sin? And what does that mean? Where does it say that one is born in sin? And what does that mean? Indeed. But what does it mean? What does it mean? You know where it's at, Civic? Civic said he knows. Civic got it. Come on to Psalms 51 and 1. Shalom, brother, man.
Have mercy upon me, O Elohim.
Do what?
Have mercy upon me, O Elohim.
Why?
According to your loving kindness.
According to your what?
Your loving kindness.
Let's stop. Now, we went through a long dissertation about loving kindness, but I want to refer this back to what we were discussing on Wednesday to make sure that none of those things are lost. So, of course, we were talking about an oblation, which is your minkah, which is your gift. And then we were talking about the shalem, which is your peace offering, which is your covenant of friendship alliance. And greater love have no man than this, that a man do what, Civic? Lay his life down for his friends. Now, of course, all of you know Jeremiah 31 and 3 said that he would draw you with loving kindness. David here is asking to have mercy upon him according to his loving kindness. And just on general principle, Jeremiah 9 and 23. The nature of the flesh, we're born into the flesh, and the flesh is sinful. And I would see why you would say that, but that's not what it means in that passage. That's what people have incorrectly interpreted to us of what's being conveyed. Because when Paul go to talking about that, he talking about something different than what this passage talking about. Because we're going to read it. This passage is literally talking about you're born to die. You know what I'm saying? When you look at the definition of the word sin in Hebrew, you're born to die. Indeed, we have anxiety in the flesh because of the punishment that's due on man. Because see, you have original sin like the Catholic Church and them people come up with, which is not necessarily a scriptural teaching. And it comes from this passage in Psalms 51. But when you see in sin, did my mother conceive me? And we'll read the definition just to refresh for anybody. When you read the definition of kata, it's something totally different than what they're telling us. You know what I'm saying? Because in reality, we got a verse where he say man was made upright. Like the actions of the flesh and things of that nature, that's not really discussed from Genesis to Malachi. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures don't really speak about things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? When you go to talking about the temptations of the flesh and things of that nature, that's added wisdom that brings to light certain things that are mentioned in the text. But I'm talking about like plainly and directly where you would be able to pick up on it. You know what I'm saying? When you look at the flesh, what I try to find out better to word it this way. What the scriptures refer to as the flesh is lust. You know what I'm saying? That's what you would see. When we look in the New Testament, quote unquote, and we see flesh, Old Testament, quote unquote, it would be your lust. It would be your desires. Because our desires, that's what man sought out many inventions, is contrary to the will of Elohim. Shalom, Brother Robert. At that, you know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, what I did ask you to read?
Jeremiah 9:23.
Yeah, on general principle.
Thus saith Yahuah, let not the wise esteem in his wisdom, neither let the mighty esteem in his might, let not the rich esteem in his riches, but let him that esteem in this.
Shalom, my G.
That he understand and know me, that I am Yahuah.
That I'm who?
Yahuah.
What do he exercise?
Loving kindness.
What else?
Judgment.
What else?
Righteousness in the earth.
These things.
I delight, saith Yahuah.
So, we're just mentioning that because remember he said, Elohim so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. You know what I'm saying? So, when he's asking for this loving kindness, well, of course, when he declared his name, he declared that he exercised loving kindness. Yahuah Elohim, merciful, gracious, abundant in goodness and truth, long suffering, so on and so forth. But back to Psalm 51:1.
Have mercy upon me, O Elohim, according to your loving kindness.
According
unto the multitude of your tender mercy.
According to what?
The multitude of your tender mercy.
To what?
Blot out my transgression.
And again, of course, you need an atonement. But this is the aspect of looking at what a peace offering is. And this goes back to, a covenantal sacrifice. But the reality is, when we look at Yahushua HaMashiach, he's representative of every sacrifice in the book. You know what I'm saying? So his offering of himself is a burnt offering, the covenantal sacrifice, the trespass offering, the sin offering, the atonement offering, the peace offering, all of these things. You know what I'm saying? You represent all of these things. So what we were discussing on Wednesday is this peace offering of this shalem is of a covenantal alliance of friendship. And if there's a man who have friends, he must make of himself friendly. And there is a love that stick closer than a brother. So in this aspect, this is what David is asking for. Why? Because he has went into Bathsheba and killed her husband. This is what this psalm is explicitly about. I tell you at the top of it, this is what this psalm is about. You understand? So taking that into account, having that understanding, and you got Isaiah 55 when he say, get it for him. Isaiah 55:3. You can make it one. Because it'll lead in to the verse. The verse is into that to turn that over to Yahushua HaMashiach on the back end. This is Isaiah 55:1.
Oh, everyone that thirsts, come you to the waters.
Come you to the what?
Come you to the waters.
And do what?
You that have no money, come you buy and eat.
And what else?
Yea, come buy wine and milk without money and without price.
And what else?
Wherefore do you spend money for that which is not bread?
Not bread.
And your labor for that which satisfies not?
It don't satisfy.
Hearken diligently unto me, and eat you that which is good.
Which is good.
And let your soul delight itself in fatness.
Why?
Incline your ear and come unto me.
Do what with your ear?
Incline your ear, come unto me.
And what's going to happen?
Hear, and your soul shall live.
And what's going to happen?
And I'll make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David.
The sure what?
The sure mercies of David.
If you hearken, Shalom, Sister Virginia. If you hearken unto Yahushua HaMashiach, he could give you the sure mercies of David. For those of you who don't know what that means, David pronounced judgment on his own head that he should die for committing adultery and for murder. Because the law say he should die. You understand? But the sure mercies of David is a reflection of what's in 2 Corinthians. What it is. 7, I believe. Give me 2 Corinthians 7 real quick, man. Tell me what verse 8 say.
For though I made you sorry with a letter,
That's it.
I do not repent.
I do not repent.
Though I did repent, for I perceive that the same epistle had made you sorry.
Stop. Listen. A lot of people who get in this word get upset when somebody says something to them and their feelings get hurt. And then you think this person is supposed to repent. because they hurt your feelings. Nigga, screw your feelings. You know what I'm talking about? Read it again.
Except for though I made you sorry with a letter, I do not repent.
Though
I did repent, for I perceived that the same epistle had made you sorry. Though
made you what?
Made you sorry, though it were but for a season.
But for a small little bit.
Now I rejoice
Peace,
not
each man.
that you were made sorry.
See, the difference is this is what most people perceive. This is what I was talking about Wednesday too. Most of y'all want to come at people to make them feel bad so you can rejoice over the fact that you made them feel bad, even though you quote unquote told them the truth or corrected them. You know what I'm saying? See, if you genuine about, hey, this person feel bad, I don't care about your feelings being hurt, but I don't rejoice in your feelings being hurt. And I don't get nothing out of your feelings being hurt. My objective is to stir you to repentance. Now, I want you to read them Leviticus 19 and 18 real fast, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to get out of that habit like this here, man. Listen to what it says. Don't even worry about it. Leviticus 19 and 18. Make it 17. You can make it 15. Fine.
You shall do no unrighteousness in judgment.
See, this is the first thing. If you're going to come with any misspot of determining right or wrong, it need to be upright when you do it. You know what I'm saying? That's where most people get the game twisted at. It's got bump your feelings. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. You don't, and this is especially if you're in a position of judgment. Now, I mentioned this the other day. Some of y'all have been in the word long enough to where you should be able to judge matters. Period, point blank. If you can't, that's a reflection on yourself. The biggest mistake that people come into judgment is you come by who it is. Doesn't matter who it is. That's irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? Remember the text tell you, hey man, you don't judge for man, you judge for Yahuah. That's your first mistake. I don't care if that's your friend. I don't care if that's your spouse. I don't care if that's your child. That junk don't mean nothing. Absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? And if you're moved by who it is when you judge, then it's best for you to just perpetually to keep your mouth closed. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't judge one way for your friends and then judge somebody else in a different way. Now, see, I know some of you, because we discussed that court case, you can't bring the judgment of God into the court case as a man, because they're two different scenarios. They don't mix. You know what I'm saying? They don't hold by that standard. Feelings and flesh judge spiritual things, have to be spiritual in the guideline of the Most High. Indeed, because it tell you a spiritual man judgeth all things, yet is judged by no man. You know what I'm saying? So you have to look at that. And you have to judge righteously, not according to appearance, righteously. That's people's biggest problem, is you judge things based on how it look to you, and you don't be knowing. And y'all make judgments based off what somebody said to you without another witness. You know what I'm saying? It's just a conversation with somebody the other day, and I was telling them what I tell you all the time. I'm not saying you lying, but I'm not moving off because you told me somebody did something and you didn't say they did it while they were standing right there. Because if you think I'm finna step to somebody about something you said they did and they not standing right there, you got me messed up, because I'm not. And I'm not going to repeat it to nobody else. I'm not going to nobody about no second, third, fourth hand information if my eyes did not see it. Don't ask me to step to them. Don't ask me to check them. I ain't going to do nothing. If you not going to say that while they standing right there, that junk ain't real to me, man. Let that be known. Because that is not what this book say. I've been telling y'all that for a decade plus. This book said if that person offend you, go to them one-on-one. And if they won't hear you, then go get 2-3 witnesses. And if they won't hear them, bring them in front of the whole assembly. If you ain't willing to do that, you don't need to talk about it. And you can't say you love your brother, because he said debate your cause with your neighbor and your neighbor alone. So if you got an issue with them, I don't know what the hell you telling another nigga for. Because you wrong. Ain't no righteous judgment, no godly conduct, and none of that. If you got an issue with that person, you need to go talk to them. You don't need to tell your sister, your auntie, your homeboy, your husband. You don't need to tell nobody. You need to go talk to them. You don't need to tell your wife. You don't need to tell another brother. You need to go talk to them. That's what this book tells you to do. And if you're not willing to do that, then what you talking about it for? Because that means either you're messy, you're stupid, or you're both. You know what I'm talking about? Because we can't say, come on, man, we can't say we mature in the word doing goofy junk like that. And that's what you see all across this country with people in the word, man. Because I promise to you, I don't give a damn about what issue you got with somebody. I don't want to hear that junk. Because, Sylvia, you already know what I'm going to tell you. Did you tell them? What you telling me for? Because I'm not the person you need to talk to. You need to go talk to them. And if it's too difficult for you to handle, then you go get them and you come holler at me. Because I've always told you, you want to be right or you want to be reconciled. See, a lot of times people want to be right and you don't want to be reconciled, which means you don't really fool with this person in that capacity. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why a lot of people who be in this word be falling out with people. That junk be nonsense. And niggas too old for that. When I say too old, I'm not talking about old age-wise. I'm talking about old in the word. You can't sit back and scream to people about we live like this and we live like that, and then we treat each other sour. When this man say love y'all, he say, man, the world will know you my disciples if you love each other like I loved you. That's not how he loved us. So why we doing each other like that? That don't even make sense. That's crazy. That's crazy. And just so you know, I ain't got nobody in mind, but if them shoes fit, go ahead and lace them hoes up. There's a track around the corner. Go ahead and run around. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you tie them up nice and tight. Put your insoles in so your arches don't be hurt when you get finished. You know what I'm saying? Because we need to radiate the godliness that we want to espouse to other people. Because truth be told, and y'all already know that, most issues that people got is because you don't know how to properly communicate. You know what I'm saying? Let's get that out of the way. You don't know how to properly resolve conflict because you might have not came up in an environment where that was done on a continual basis. So therefore, things bubble over because you holding resentment and malice and you frustrated because you don't know how to talk. And when I say you don't know how to talk, that means you don't know how to express yourself without being disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? And let it be. No, listen, man. If them your peoples, man, it ain't nothing to be hard to say, hey, man, I ain't like that when you did that, man. That hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Or when you did that there, I ain't appreciate that. I would rather you not do that. If a nigga fool with you, for sure. My bad. I ain't even intend to do that. My fault. Because I love this nigga. You know what I'm saying? So my love for them is more important than my feelings in the moment. Because them feelings going to fade. That person is still going to be there. That's why they tell you to be careful about what you say out your mouth. Book tell you, man, if you ain't got nothing to say, what he told you to do? Put your hand over your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Put your hand over your mouth. Man, there come a period of time, man, where niggas shouldn't be snarky, petty, malicious, spiteful in your verbiage, man. But yet we want to go to God and pray to God, but you talking crazy and you're cursing somebody in the image of God. How that work? And James tell you about that. 3rd chapter. Read it on your own time. And truth be told, Civic know why I'm mentioning this because we just heard my dog chastise somebody about that. So that's why I'm mentioning it. Because it ain't nothing about none of y'all. Literally heard my homeboy say something to somebody about that who just did that. And that's why I'm mentioning it. And we don't need to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to be doing that. Because it's not cool. And it don't line up with the word in the first place. And this be the avenue, word-wise, where we get caught down bad. You know what I'm saying? Because we thinking, hey, I keep the Sabbath. I don't do this. I don't do that. But you treat each other sour. And you doing that over there don't clean up this over here. He said, the weightier matters of the law are judgment, mercy, and faith. So you're supposed to have proper mishpat and proper kased with your brother. Because that's not a lot. That's not a heavy matter piece, Brother Joseph, man. There ain't no heavy matter keeping no Sabbath, bro. It's not. You know what I'm saying? Indeed, Joseph, man. Indeed. But come on, man. Go ahead.
You shall do no unrighteousness and judgment.
Don't do none.
You shall not respect the person of the poor.
You should not do what?
Respect the person of the poor.
What else?
Nor honor the person of the mighty.
What else?
In righteousness shall you judge your neighbor.
In righteousness shall you what?
Judge your neighbor.
So in amen. And shalom, Brother Marvin. And Sadak Mishpat shall you do your neighbor, man. That's got to be righteous judgment. That's why he say don't judge according to appearance, judge righteous. That's why he said that, because that's what your law say to do. You know what I'm saying? And you know what the biggest problem is, man, with more people in the word? And also, too, man, especially when people be new to the word, y'all niggas be too harsh. You know what I'm saying? Too harsh. You expecting somebody to be, you've been doing it 10 years. You can't expect them to be where you at. They just coming in. But you thinking that's taking it light on them. You got to lay down the proper foundation. What do I mean by that? Most brews, right? Then come in the word, they running up on them about Sabbaths, fringes. I just tell somebody the other day, nigga get in the word, first thing they want to do is tell them go find a spouse. This nigga don't even know God, cuz. They don't even know God, cuz. And you worrying about them finding a wife, finding a husband. You don't even know who you are as a man or a woman. And then you don't even know who you are as a man or a woman in Yahuah, and you think you need to be dealing with a spouse? You know what I'm talking about? Oh man, why you ain't doing this? Why you ain't doing that? Man, they ain't even got a foundation in the faith yet. Y'all don't even realize, man, listen, man. Because I know people be thinking in person I'll be harsh. I told you this here, man. I ain't never ran up on none of y'all about nothing. Like on some, why you ain't doing this? Why you ain't doing that? I ain't never did none of y'all like that. You know why? Because your foundation and your faith got to be strong first. That stuff light. That other stuff, that stuff light. Saying, hey, yeah, check this out. We don't really do X, Y, Z. Okay, bet. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got no foundation and no faith, man, you ain't trying to hear that what a nigga talking about, man. Because you're going to be worrying about, hey, why I got to do, listen, this before any of y'all was around here with the exception of my brother-in-law and my sister. I remember a particular young lady asked me, oh, it seems like the women got to give up more than men. I said, you sound simple. You saying that because you have an emotional attachment to what it is that you have to sacrifice, not understanding that we all got to give something up in Yahushua HaMashiach. But your issue is you looking at what you got to give up and not what you can gain. Baby, you're going to hold on to nothing to lose out on something. That's the wrong mind to have. That's like how my man's dude I know who I do business with, man. He be like, man, you finna trip over pennies. You know what I'm saying? And miss out on dollars. Because you worried about something that don't even matter. In comparison. You know what I'm saying? This don't even matter. You don't even look at, listen, man. The average group don't even talk about what Yahuah has granted us by his everlasting righteousness and grace and mercy to understand what it is to be free. You understand? And I'm telling you this from being in, this ain't disparaging nobody. I'm just saying I haven't ran across too many brothers that discuss this for them to understand. Hey man, when this man say he come to set you free and you shall be free indeed, that man say no tax, no debt, no obligation. And wherever the Ruach of the Lord is, there is freedom. So you free from debt. You don't owe nothing, which we get into in Psalms 51. You don't owe nothing. And the only thing we concerned about is the things that you want to hold on to that's going to make you owe. And it's not the things that you're holding on to that's going to keep you in debt. It's the mindset that's going to keep you in debt, because you're going to be steady going after things that's going to keep that debt from being paid. Because you don't want the debt paid because you're attached to things that are temporal. Everything on this earth gonna pass away. Me, you, this house, these cars, the jewelry, the clothes, anything you can think of, man. Your memories, the memory of you. All that's gonna pass away. The only thing that is everlasting and eternal is the word of Yahuah. And we don't want to hold on to that, to hold on to things that's gonna perish. Effectively, that is retarded. You know what I'm saying? That is a spiritual retardation. And when I say retarded and retardation, you know, for something to retard in the literal sense is to go backwards. You know what I'm saying? It causes a decline. Like when somebody, you know, people don't use that term retarded too much no more, you know what I'm saying? Because people take it as offensive. But it's a cognitive decline in the brain. You know what I'm saying? That means everything in your mind as far as functioning doesn't function properly. You know what I'm saying? And we can't be moving like that. Hold on. He said, I always think about Mark 10 and 30. Read Mark 10 and 30. I ain't got my glasses on, man. So I can't see. I praise you, Lord. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about that, because niggas be wild. All the time. You know what I'm saying? For no reason. I literally just heard a dude, right? He going off on one of our people's, man, oh, you got your titties out, woo, woo, woo. This woman ain't in nowhere. So then he asking us this question, well, what do y'all think about women who walk around with their titties? I don't think nothing. You know what I'm saying? And Madal was like this here, how you respond to seeing a half-naked woman is a reflection on you, not her. But then I'd be like, why do you dudes feel the need to want to try to regulate women who are not under your sphere of influence? You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I've seen titties before. Seeing cleavage don't do nothing to me, cuz. You know what that tells me? That's a woman who like to walk with her breasts out. Now, what she may not know, she may not be a harlot. But it's going to be hard for some people to tell because you got a harlot's uniform on. And that's what a lot of ladies sometimes get the game twisted. That is, you standing next to harlots, you dressing like a harlot, people can't tell the difference. Then when you get treated like one, you get upset because why are you disrespecting me like that? But he's just going to assume that you're a harlot, a whore, a streetwalker, a lady of the night. Is it fair? Not necessarily. But you know something that I've known? Life ain't fair. And that's your first mistake for thinking that it is. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know who told you that life was fair. Because it's not. In no shape, form, or fashion. Never has been, never will be. So you should get your mind out of thinking that, man. Time and chance. That's what it tell you in the city. Time and chance. But come on with it.
But he shall receive 100-fold now in this time, houses and brethren and sisters and mothers and children and lands with persecutions, and in the world to come, eternal life. Mm-hmm.
Back it up, though. It's really mentioned in Matthew 19, where he said the same thing about Master, we forsaken all. What shall we get? Say someone told a woman on social media who does thirst traps kind of content that she hopes she's not looking for a husband. Her reply was, she was and she will have one. Covered women ain't being white. And that's the perception and the stereotype. But it also goes to what I told y'all before. A lot of men like hoes. But also, hoes don't end up marrying men that they want. And when I say men that they want, I'm talking about men that they respect. Because listen, man, anybody can get a husband, but is it going to be a husband that you respect and a husband that you desire? Just like a dude can get a wife, is it a wife that he respects? And is it a wife that he desires? That's what people be leaving out. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, you got a wife, but you don't respect her. Yeah, you got a husband, but you don't respect him. And it's only a certain caliber of man that's going to do that. Case in point, we had a conversation the other day. I forgot this is how it was. Judah asked, do you think it's cool for a father to bathe his child if they're 7, 8, 9 years old? I'm like, that's my child. I can bathe my child. Truth be told, at 7, 8, 9 years old, they should be able to bathe themselves. You know what I'm saying? The only way I need to come and bathe them, look at, boy, you ain't clean your butt good. You with that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? But then he asked, should a stepfather bathe a child? I'm not washing nobody else's child. That's a no. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't for no reason other than I'm not finna put myself in a position for someone to falsely accuse me of something because that happens to dudes when it's not their children. But that's not the main point. Then he asked, well, what if the man been with the child since they was born? I say, boy, if you fooling with a woman and she was pregnant with another nigga baby, you's a different type of dude, man. You know what I'm talking about? Because, boy, I'm not talking to, I'm not copulating, I'm not doing nothing with no woman who's pregnant with another man's baby. And if you was willing to try to talk to me while you pregnant with another man's baby, that tells me a lot about you. Now, you might not agree with that, and that's fine. That's my point of view. You understand what I'm telling you? Dude, like, man, dudes be doing that. That's their business. I can tell you this, you're not going to find no man of any value, any self-worth, any self-respect, and any manner of dignity that is going to scoop up a woman who is 3, 4, 5 months pregnant with a baby. You ain't even fully removed from messing with this man, and you carrying his child, and you think I'm finna talk to you, fornicate with you, dwell with you, go out with you? Man, you out your rabbit mind. And boy, if you do that as a man, boy, you don't love yourself. And I'm gonna be honest with you, every man who I seen do that was either a sexual degenerate or he was down bad. He was down bad. Or he was just simply a goofy and a lame. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't no way. Ain't no way. But I'm not finna entertain no woman walking around here with another man. No. Why you still carrying a baby? Baby, I know you still mentally and emotionally attached to that man. Ain't no way. It's two things you should never do in your life, man. You should never fool with a woman who stopped, because it's really one and the same. You should never be nobody's rebound, man. If somebody just start fooling with somebody, man, have enough self-respect to say, hey, I appreciate your interest, but I respectfully decline. You know what I'm saying? Because you still is attached to this individual. This man or woman. Man, don't disrespect yourself like that. That's not going to work out well for you. You know what I'm saying? It never does. You say my daddy was like that with my older sister. He would bathe specific kids, but he let my mom bathe my sister. She wasn't his biological. Now, it's not specific kids. He bathed his kids. You know what I'm saying? That's what he bathed his children. Because 9 times out of 10, an accusation of impropriety usually doesn't get levied against a man with his own children. But when you don't have a biological tie to that child, people listen, and they already say that, statistic-wise, the children who suffer abuse tend to suffer it in the home where there's a non-biological parent in it. You know what I'm saying? And why does that happen? Because that person does not have a DNA, an emotional or mental tie to that offspring. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of niggas and women, because let's not leave that out. Because people like to leave that out. Because women be abusing each other, man. This is what we're talking about the other day. Women be sexually assaulting these little boys and molesting these little boys, and people act like it don't happen because you think it's cool because it's a grown woman. No, that whole nasty. You know what I'm saying? She's a pervert and a pedophile and a maggot, just like the man is. You know what I'm saying? Because it mentally messes up little boys just like it do little girls. You know what I'm saying? And we have to stop thinking and perpetuating the gist that that's cool, because it ain't cool for no grown woman to push your face in between her legs, man. For her to be doing stuff with you, you think that make you a man? This woman abusing you, boy. And you won't realize it until you good and grown, the psychological effect it had on your brain. It's just not going to affect you like it affect little girls, man. You know what I'm talking about? Because people just act like women don't do this stuff. They be doing it and been doing it. You know what I'm saying? Yahuah Baruch, listen, man. I say this here, man, on Real Deal Tip, man, because a lot of people, man, when they fool with people who have kids that don't belong to them, they really be having resentment towards that child because they feel like that child is in the way of the object of their affection, and they take it out on that baby, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people be doing that, man, beating on them children, man. You know what I'm saying? Screaming and hollering at them children, eviscerating them verbally. That's how that stuff happens. Because they really mad because they in the way. And then I go to thinking, well, why you fool with them? Because you knew that. You know, one thing I ain't going to do is I'm not going to paint you a reality of life that doesn't exist. Preferably, there ain't none of your life experiences. But it's somebody's, though. And we can't act like these things don't happen. And the reason why they continue to perpetuate over an extended period of time is because we don't want to discuss it. We want to act like it don't happen, even though we know it's out here happening. You know what I'm talking about? Come on, Sabo. Where we at, dude?
Mark 10. What verse you wanted me to start?
Just when he said, Peter said, Lord, we forsaken everything. What we going to get?
Verse 28.
Mark 10 and 28.
Okay, then Peter began to say unto him, Lo, we have left all and have followed you. Yahuah answered and said, Truly I say unto you, there is no man that hath left house, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother,
that can do what?
Or children, or lands for my sake and the gospel's. But he shall receive 100-fold now.
And see, this is what people's problem is. No matter what it is, you don't want to leave it. If you can either have that or you can have him, but you can't have both. And what do I mean by that? Because it's not necessarily certain things that specifically. But if you find yourself in your brain wanting to hold on to something for dear life, that means that's something you need to let that go. Because that means you're going to lose the Lord to keep that. And that could be anything. For some people, it could be a job. It could be a person. It could be certain people, places, or things. You know what I'm saying? It could be anything. But because all that is an idol in your heart. And you don't realize it's an idol in your heart. An idol in your heart is something that is consuming your mind that you will eventually slop before your God. And you don't realize that you're going to do it, but you're going to do it. You're going to do it. You know what I'm talking about? I've been in this game a long time. I done seen it. You know what I'm saying? I done seen it. That's right. Better keep your eyes straight forward. Don't go to the left or to the right. Listen, man, let me tell you something, man. And most of y'all know this here. It's real easy to get distracted and slipped up in this game, man. Shalom, sis. Much love. Real easy to get distracted. It's real easy for things to well up in your heart that you know that you really need to mortify and discard. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to weigh and consider, because it's your soul, it's your life. I can't tell you what to do. I can only tell you what Yahuah require of us. I can't tell you what to do. You know what I'm saying? I can tell you what I would do. I can tell you what would be the wise thing to do, but I cannot tell you as a grown person what to do. You know what I'm saying? But I know, boy, if you hold on to certain things, boy, they're going to take you down. Now, you can be free or you can be shackled to whatever it is that's holding you down. This man told you, let's set aside the sin and the weight that easily beset us and run the race with patience. You can't get to the top level speed you want to get to because you're carrying things you should have let go 5 years ago. What you taking it with you for? What purpose, rhyme, or reason are you holding to? What is it doing for you? Come on back to Leviticus, man, before I lose my major point. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it is what it is.
Verse 16. So you shall not go up and down as a talebearer among the people.
Stop going. What's a talebearer, Civic?
Scandalmonger.
All right, Sharon. Scandalmonger. That's what some people's problem is, y'all. Scandalmongers. You're an informer. You know the white reggae man. Y'all know the song. But you know, that's somebody who go around you slandering people. Well, let me give you the white man definition of scandalmonger, because you know we like that word. Mama Steph like that word. Yeah, you already know. You old enough to know, Omar. Some of them ain't old enough to know. What is a scandalmongering? The act of spreading malicious, sensational, or damaging gossip and rumors about other people's private lives. It typically involves creating, exaggerating, or actively circulating unverified stories designed to cause public shock, moral outrage, or destruction of someone's reputation. Now, let me tell you something, because I'm laying this plane because people were discussing this here about this lady who's making all these videos. Some people don't know what gossip is. You understand? If you are discussing, like people, I'll give you an example. People say, oh, these men on the internet gossiping. If a man is speaking of his firsthand experience, he can't be gossiping. He's speaking from his firsthand experience, from his perspective. Now, whether you agree with his perspective, whether his perspective may be 100%, you know what I'm saying, factual according to the events that's occurred, that's another conversation. But gossip is speaking on things that you cannot verify, which is why I told you I will never step to nobody about nothing that you come tell me they did and I ain't see it. You know what I'm saying? Indeed, that is about 75% of YouTube. Shoot, I be watching wrestling videos, and you know one of the biggest reasons why I stopped watching some of them? Because all they reporting on is rumors. I don't want to hear about no rumor, man. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is it'll be like, oh, Chris Jericho's going to WWE. You don't know he going. Then these people make months worth of stories talking about this man not going. Then when he end up not going, you get mad. How you got mad about something you couldn't even verify? You didn't even know that was true. But I mention that because, you know what I'm saying? Because word-wise, that's scandal mongering, because you want me to go rebuke somebody about something that I can't verify because I didn't see it. Now, that's different if you be like, I caught him having sex with another woman, and then you had it up. See, here's the videotape. I'm not gonna watch it. Let's get that out of the way. I'm not gonna watch it, but there's verifiable evidence. You got that on tape. I'm not watching that. Listen, I told you a while back, man, I think it was last year sometime, there was some young lady that was in somebody's camp, assembly, congregation, whatever they want to call it, and she was masquerading as a man. I'll never forget this room on Clubhouse in my life because this is one of the funniest things I ever heard. These grown men say they went in there to verify if this woman had a penis. Took photographs, went in there and looked and video. Y'all, I'm like, y'all looked at that? Bro, I ain't gonna lie, man. I think I told you about it. Well, if you was to send me a video talking about, yeah, man, we don't know if this is a woman, man. Check and see if, boy, I'm gonna fight you when I see you, boy. Well, you thought it was wise to send me a picture or video of a man's phallus? Boy, we got to fight, boy. Boy, you can just call me a punk, low key. That's a piece of diligent inquisition I don't want to do. You know what I'm talking about? I don't want to know that bad. I don't want to know that bad. I'm just gonna ask your parents. They'll know. I don't want to know that bad. I ain't gonna lie. I don't want to know that bad. You know, it's some things I take your word for it. I'm not looking at that. You know what I'm saying? I'm good on that. You know what I'm saying? But I can't do that because the word don't allow for that to happen. Words say out the mouth of two. See, y'all be thinking that it's like court cases. You got to have elaborate evidential presentations. Books say 2-3 witnesses enough to get you condemned. So that's why you better weigh and consider what you say about somebody did. Because if you lying, the same thing you thought to get done to them ought to be done to you. That's what your law says. That's why he said you reap what you sow, because that's what your law say. You know what I'm saying? That's the fundamental standpoint of where that comes from. You know what I'm saying? But that's why you're not supposed to do that. And that's not, and listen, I want to be clear, because I know I always tell you, that's not to say that this person is scandal mongering. And that's not to say that this person is lying. Because people get, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you're lying. But what do you want me to do scripturally, from a godly point of view? I'd like for y'all to answer me that if you're able. If somebody came and made an accusation, I don't care what the accusation was, about somebody, and you can't verify it, you didn't see it yourself, what do you expect for them to do? Or you just venting and you want them to listen to it? I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want to hear that junk. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear that. What I mean, what I don't want to hear that don't mean I'm going to be like, oh, shut your mouth. It means that I don't care to hear that information if it's not going to be something that some type of solution, resolution, or reconciliation that's going to be derived from this conversation being had. Because if you just want to say it just to say it, you need to call somebody else with that, because I don't want to hear that. I'm going to say 2-3 witnesses. Because I say that because you don't want nobody who feel like they being dismissed and it's actually something going on. You know what I'm saying? But it's a proper way to do things, word-wise. I mean this because you have to sit back and look at it, right? Of course, we live in America, so it's different. But when you were in the land, you were in a fully functioning commonwealth. You know what I'm saying? With the priesthood and with judges. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have police officers and other stuff like that. And you didn't have a court system like you got over here. You know what I'm saying? So you living amongst yourself. So when issues arise, if you couldn't handle it yourself, just go to the judges. You know what I'm saying? Because this is to keep strife down, because the objective is for the people to be at one. See, I mentioned all this here because when you sit back and look at it, the father is the chief judge. In order to handle this conflict, because he said he had a controversy with you, he sent his son to be a friendship alliance to reconcile the strife. The strife is your sin. We at odds. How we can get back at one? You know what I'm saying? So you look at the framework of the pattern of the behavior of your God towards man, he wants us to reflect that same behavior. That's why he say, hey, forgive and you'll be forgiven. This is why he's saying this, because that's why he say be perfect like your Father in heaven is perfect. He wants you to follow the same framework of behavior that God is showing to you. And I know we know that, but we just mentioned it from a different perspective and point of view. Say, yes, the worst part, because it's not that you don't care, but you got to do it according to the due order. Doing things outside the due order is how you get yourself in trouble. Doing things outside, and when I say get yourself in trouble, meaning getting yourself into unnecessary conflict, disputes that didn't have to be had. unnecessary arts with people that didn't have to be had. You know what I'm saying? Because I've told a few that if you're not going to go get them and say that to me, I don't know what you're telling me for. Because I don't know what you expect for me to do. Because I'm not approaching them with that. I'm not approaching them with that. That's whole stuff. I'm not doing that. If you be like, my husband hit me, call the police. Because what you want me to do? Did you hit your wife? What? And if he say, yeah, what authority do you think that I have over him? What you think I'm gonna be able to do to him? I don't have no authority over this man to do nothing. I can't beat this man. We ain't got no jail to put this man in. What you think? Hey, don't hit her again. I shouldn't even have to tell him that. If he in the word, I shouldn't even have to tell you that. Then you'd have to ask, boy, you hate yourself. Because if you can hit her, that means you hit yourself. Which you mean you probably do hit yourself. You hate yourself, that's why you hate her. Because when you look at her, you see yourself, you get mad. Get help. Now, see, it sounds harsh when you say that, what you expect, because this goes into the other thing that I be talking about. People expect preachers and people of that ilk to do entirely more than what they're supposed to be doing. In your brain, you think this man's supposed to do everything. And like I told you, I was talking to cut. That's why Christian preachers be killing themselves, because they get in their mind that they got to do everything. But remember, see, praise be to Yahuah. This is the wisdom of the word. Because when you read the word, Jethro told Moses what? Well, you can't do all that, boy. You're going to destroy yourself. This is what, again, word-wise, this is why I've always told you, I'm not going to let y'all kill me. Because I see that that's in the word. If you let it happen, it's going to happen. And it's not necessarily that the people are bad for doing it. It's because you're just a human being. You're just a human being. And there's some things, man, you can't try to take on all that on, man. Don't even make common sense. But that's the stereotype that they feel like the preacher got to do everything. That's not what this book tells you to do. That's what man told you to do, and you were simple enough to do it. The preacher's job is to pray, fast, teach the people. Not only that, but to be an advisor and a counselor to the people, to have care and concern for them, not to sit back and be like, I got to handle every single solitary issue to my own mental, spiritual, and physical detriment, just to prove how godly I am. Because listen, niggas will run you into the dirt and bury you and keep doing the same goofy junk they were doing before you died. Sure will. And think nothing of it. And think nothing of it. Just keep on going. Yeah, you lying to me. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you lying to me. And yeah, and go to the next preacher and do it to him. Yeah, you lying to me. Also, some preachers get involved in that because they be nosy. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to be up in the mix and know what everybody doing. Yeah, that's a no. You know what I'm talking about? That's a no. That's a no. Everybody here grown, man. You're grown. There has to come a point in time as a man or a woman that you live by the code of which you profess. That don't nobody need to be. You got to have a pathetic life to be worrying about what other people doing in the first place. To be overly concerned about it. You know what I'm saying? Or to have a life centered around having discussions, thoughts, and dissertations about what other people doing that don't concern you. Yeah, that don't concern me. I don't care. That don't concern me. Your life would be better when you weren't. You know, that's what the old people tell you, you know. Mind the business that pay you, man. That don't concern me. That don't concern me. Things only concern me when you bring them to me. Then they concern me. If you don't mention it to me, it's none of my concern. You know why? Because you didn't want it to be any of my concern. Because if you wanted it to be my concern, you would have told me. That's how I view that. Before the word. If you wanted me to know, you would have told me. You didn't want me to know, so you didn't tell me. And you shouldn't feel like I should be asking you about personal questions about your life. Because that's weird. You know what I'm saying? It's different if we in a group and be like, boy, how your mentals, man? Where your mind state? That's different. That gives you open energy to discuss whatever you want. Most of y'all niggas don't lie though. And I get it. Because you don't want to be in the open and be like, shoot, I'm going through it, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? I got this going on. It's real for me right now. But we don't be realizing when you do that from a word standpoint, that actually that goes into where you can pray for one another. And you can pray for each other as a group and as a whole. Because there's power when a group of people who fear God pray in unison for one common cause. There's power in that. Because he can hearken to that cry. But we don't look at it that way because everybody want to be fragmented because I only want to tell their person. You'd rather have only 2 people praying for you instead of 200. How stupid is that? You know what I'm saying? That don't make common sense. Come on, Zip. Come on back. What was that? What you got holding? What you holding? Let's do that.
So 2 Corinthians 7.
Yeah, run that.
Say, for though I made you sorry with the letter,
that's right.
I do not repent.
I don't repent.
Though I did repent, for I perceived that the same epistle had made you sorry, though but for a season.
But for a season.
Now I rejoice, not that you were made sorry.
Not that you were made sorry.
But that you sorrowed to repentance.
Sorrow to repentance.
For you were made sorry after a godly
manner.
That you might receive damage by us in nothing. For godly sorrow work repentance.
Godly sorrow work what, Sid?
Repentance.
Not to be
repented of.
But the sorrow of the world.
Or death.
And that's what you got to remember. If you remove the godly sorrow, which is why we read the sure mercies of David, that worked to turn it. But the sorrow of the people who hostile to the cause of Mashiach, well, you going to hell, boy. I'm talking about Sheol and then him now. That would make sense. Go back to Leviticus 19. Excuse me.
You should not go up and down as a talebearer among your people.
What verse you want to say?
Verse 16.
Leviticus 19 and 16.
You shall not go up and down as a talebearer among your people. Neither shall you stand against the blood of your neighbor.
Don't do it.
Yahuah.
I'm Yahuah.
You shall not hate your brother in your heart.
You should not what?
Hate your brother in your heart.
Anybody who hates his brother without cause is what, Sidney? A murderer.
So you shall in any wise rebuke your neighbor.
You shall correct your neighbor.
And not suffer sin upon him.
So listen, man. If that's your neighbor and you see they're out of pocket, then you're supposed to say something to him. If you see it. Now, I mentioned this because I told you the same thing when it came to the financial aspect of the word, meaning, you know, how resources were accumulated. It's communal. It's communal. See, I understand that if you take the advent of how the church operates, the church don't operate communally. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the church in the West, in America to be specific. This is black or white church. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? It's not no shot at them. I'm talking about, well, you can see how they operate. It's not communal. It's everybody looking to one person or leadership, quote unquote, to do certain things. When you look in this book, that's not how that went. It's communal. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? The high priest ain't going to see you. The Levites, them not going to see you. Them people doing X, Y, Z. It was amongst the people that, hey, you see your neighbor out of pocket, you supposed to say something to him. Not be like, I'm going to wait for Aaron to say something to him. I know I seen it. I'm going to tell Civic, man, did you see brother such and such? Man, that book tell you, man, if your wife was telling you to worship another God, you supposed to have been the first one to put a stone upside her head. You know what I'm saying? Not the high priest, not this person, not that person. So how do you calculate that in this day and time? You supposed to be the person to say something to them. Not walk around them and see them do it and don't say nothing, waiting for somebody else to do it. That means that's cowardice. You trying to abdicate your responsibility and love for your brother or your sister to somebody else. No, book don't speak to that. And all you got to simply say is certain stuff is, hey, man, you know you're out of pocket. It ain't got to be no deep dissertation, especially if they know. If they don't know, then take the time to share the information. Remember what it says in Hebrew Civic, who can have compassion on those who are ignorant and out of the way? You got to have compassion on people who don't know. If they don't know, they don't know. Now, once you know they know, and then they keep doing opposite, well, shoot, that's on you. You got to deal with the consequence of that. I don't. I told you what I had to tell you because I love you. Again, read it again. He said, don't hate your neighbor in your heart. Read it again, Civic.
Verse 17.
Run.
You shall not hate your brother in your heart. You shall in any wise rebuke your neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
What else?
You shall not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of your people.
Don't bear no grudge.
You shall love your neighbor as yourself.
As yourself.
I am Yahuah.
See, we know that passage because it's referenced in the Gospels, but that's a part of, if you love your brother as yourself, if you don't do that, that means you hate yourself. Because how you see Hamashiach in yourself, you don't see them in him and in them and in her. How that work? Now, I'm mentioning this because of what we started from on Wednesday. He said, hey, man, peace offering, shalom, friendship alliance. If you are going to have friends, you got to show yourself friendly. See, we think friendly is just being this, that, there, and the third. Man, there's got to be a love that stick closer than a brother. He said, don't have no hatred in your heart for your neighbor. He said, greater love than to have no man in this, that a man lay his life down for his friends. This is how the world will know you're my Taladim if you loved each other as I loved you. Everything you seeing in that law, that's what he did. He loved us enough to correct us. You know what I'm saying? And he loved us as he loved himself. That's why he laid his life down. And again, indeed, without dissimulation. And we can read that. The epistle to the Romans, Civic, 12 and 7. And after that, Hebrews 6 and 1 on general principle. And we'll get back to Psalm 51.
Or ministry, let us wait on our minister.
We'll make it 5, because obviously I'm out of pocket.
So we being many are one body in
That's right.
Hamashiach, everyone members one of another.
One of another.
Having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given us, whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the proportion of faith, or ministry, let us wait on our ministering, or he that teach on teaching, or he that exhort on exhortation, he that give, let him do it with simplicity, he that rule with diligence, he that show mercy with cheerfulness.
That's right.
Let love be without dissimulation.
Without what?
Without dissimulation.
Let love be without what?
Dissimulation.
Without what?
Dissimulation.
Tell them what it means.
It is enupokritos, that is unfeigned, undisguised, sincere.
Sincere and not fake. You know what I'm saying? Let that love be sincere, 100%, and not feigned. That's why Peter told you that we have unfeigned love for the brethren. You know what I'm saying? Not love for the people that you like, not love for the people that you like to hang with. Not, oh, you my friend, I ain't gonna fool with you. No. Listen, as forth as, and I can't speak to the ladies because I ain't no woman. I don't know what y'all got going on per se. But I can tell you, when it comes to men that I done seen in this work, it's a lot of dudes act like that. Really fake and phony. They don't really fool with each other. You know what I'm saying? They just round each other and we don't fool with each other. Man, I ain't lying. I ain't with none of that. Because if I don't fool with you, I'm not finna be around you. And then you just sit back and look at it. The only way I'm not going to fool with you, you would have to do something dishonorable. Not say something I didn't like. You know what I'm saying? Not hold a different doctrine. You know what I'm saying? No goofy junk like that. I ain't going to be in no feelings about nothing. You have to dishonor yourself for me not to fool with you. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, if I don't fool with you, I don't fool with myself. And shoot, I like me. You say, just thinking about this verse, because what do you put on that? Oh, the Most High in Christ's love that is fact. Say from observation, most people just group with their friends. A lot of people do. And I mean, and to be honest, to keep it 100% with you, that's just natural human behavior. You know what I'm saying? So human beings have an inclination to stick to and be drawn to people who they're familiar with. And a lot of people, especially as they age, depending on their personality type, are less inclined, you know what I'm saying, to desire to expand their friend group, if you would. And from a natural point of view, I get that. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I'm referencing it is we talking about from a spiritual point of view, from a word point of view, we can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not what the word promotes, teaches, or extols or expounds, because that's not what Hamashiach has taught us. So it's actually the reason why it has to be focused on, because it's to unlearn or cast aside a natural inclination. You know what I'm saying? See, I ain't gonna blow smoke up your behind or piss on your leg and tell you it's rain like the old people tell you, right? What I mean by that is we can't disannul the natural inclination of man just because we in the word and feel like, oh, it shouldn't be that way. We know it shouldn't be that way, but we have to discuss why is it that way, be conscious of why it's that way so that we can fundamentally work to it's not like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because if you are accustomed to, I'm drawn to these 5 people, I enjoy their company, we got similar interests, you know what I'm saying, whatever the case may be. It'd be hard for you to be like, well, here's 3, 4 more people. How can I let them in? You know what I'm saying? So people tend to be standoffish or cliquish or whatever the term you want to be. Now, see me myself, I tend to just stay to myself in general. You know what I'm saying? But niggas know you can holler at me whenever, no matter who it is, no matter what it's about. It doesn't matter. Because if you down with me, then I'm down with you. It don't make no difference. You know what I'm saying? Every man on here, boy, if you need to holler at me, you can holler at me. Now, you women who married, you know you can holler at me, but you know, in reality, talk to your husband. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about if you got stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I'm saying? I know sometimes you may not want to talk to your husband, but I'm always going to recommend that's what he for. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what it is, that's not to say you can't holler, but you get what I'm talking about. Because listen, now I'm not going to do that because I ain't that horny. But a lot of dudes who be preaching, they be banking on that because they want to create an environment where the woman look to them instead of their husband, because that's how they get control to get the money and the games. You know what I'm saying? Me, myself, I look at it word-wise, you married and picked that man for a reason. You did? So when it comes to certain things, I would rather you go to him because that's your husband. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, there's some things you'd be like, hey, man, I'm going to holler at the big homie. Holler at me then. You know what I'm saying? But now, for those of you who ain't married, hey, man, holler at your homie, man. I got you. It's not that big of a deal because, listen, some niggas want yams. I want eternal life. Your coochie ain't that good. I promise it ain't. You know what I'm saying? I promise it ain't. But I'm saying this because this is how people think. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, this man's talking to me. He probably woo, woo, woo. No, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. You know what I'm saying? You talking about, see, you can't be, and even without the word, you can't be ruled by pleasure, whatever that pleasure may be. People put themselves in certain positions in order to maximize on the opportunity for pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Some people pleasure is food. Some people pleasure is drugs. Some people pleasure is physical gratification. Some people pleasure is shopping. You know what I'm saying? This is a nuanced deal. Everybody pleasure is not the same. See, but not all, but most of us before the word had family and that loved us that we didn't talk to all the time, but loved from a different distance and could still be around it. Indeed. See, now what me talking about is more so of in the word, people only, okay, I know them, I'm only going to fool with them. You clicked off over here, you ain't really fooling with these people over here. These people ain't did nothing to you. These people don't know you. So then when you sitting back and you looking at people who coming in the word and they see that, it makes them less inclined to want to deal with it because it make them feel like the love is fake when you do it. You know what I'm saying? When you actually talk to them, they feel like it's performative. Some of you who've been in church, y'all have referenced that you've experienced that. It turned people off from the word. You know what I'm saying? I remember years ago when this dude was like, oh, we should have a welcoming committee and this. I said, nah, we're not going to do that. And you know why I said we weren't going to do that, Stephen? Because I said it doesn't match the personalities of the people who are here. And I will never ask any of you to do anything outside of your personality. Now, you just being a standoffish douchebag, no, you don't need to do that. But I'm not going to have you standing at the door, hi, brother, and that's not you, because people are going to see that that's phony. Especially after they get to know you, they're going to see that that's phony. And I would rather you just be yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you're introverted and you tend to stay to yourself, fine. If you're more extroverted and you're a people person and you like to talk to people and greet them and this, that, and the third, fine. I'm not going to stop you. Nor do I feel like that I have to be in the face of every individual that you bring around here. Yeah, I mean, you could holler at me, but I ain't gonna be like, oh, I need to talk to him now. Since you, nah, come on, man. We all people here. You know, but you know, you can holler at a nigga. If not, you know where I'm gonna be at? I'm gonna be at the house with these children who don't listen. That's where I'm gonna be at. Or in the gym. Or walking. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? But I've been telling y'all that. You know what I'm saying? Gotta use shoot. You need to holler at me, holler at me. If you don't, who fault is that, Civic? Yours. Cause listen now. Cause like I said, I think Jess called me the other day. She said, I knew you had to be do something because you ain't that. Cause some of y'all don't believe that. It's not as swift as it used to be because you be on Clubhouse and my phone be on my pocket. But then no, boy, I answer the phone first ring. I ain't gonna look at the phone and be like, damn, I ain't gonna call this nigga. I'm gonna answer your phone call if I'm conscious. If I'm conscious. So I'm not conscious. I'm not answering your phone call. Obviously, because I can't. You know what I'm saying? Well, go ahead, Sid. Well, you can go back to Psalm 51.
You want was it Hebrews 6?
Oh yeah, Hebrews 6. And we have to be like that all the way around. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's why I told y'all that the other day, man. If you know it's some of our people in here, like, of course, the people on the stream, I don't want y'all to be feeling like you just need to be connected to me. You need to be connected to everybody. Everybody need to be connected. And there's no rhyme, reason, or excuse for all of us not to be connected. You know what I'm saying? You just can't sit back and say, I just come here to get some word. No. If the man has caused all us to come together for at this particular time, that means that's for a particular reason. That means we all need to be tapped in with each other. That means just like I say that here, right? Because we ain't got it set up. Because I don't use StreamYard. Because if I can use StreamYard, you know what I'm saying? My phone number can flash at the bottom. There's no way that if you sitting here 3 times a week hearing word that you can't be able to talk to me. Because if you can't talk to the person you getting some word from, that's a problem. That's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not trying to foster what you think as, oh, it's just on the internet. Now, this is real life, my nigga. It's real life. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole crew around here. It's not no, oh, I'm this and I'm that. It's everybody together. So, and you know why we talk about that, Civic? Because that's what the words say. Now, I know the internet allows us to be connected with people who are not necessarily in our immediate vicinity. But again, I tell you, you never know where you're going to be and when you're going to be there. And if you know you can be tied in with people all across the country, that's better for you. Just like Sister Jasmine missing love from Texas. Just like Brother Marvin in Texas, Brother Robert in Texas. You don't know when you're going to be in Texas. Just like Crystal, Drew, and Misha in Chicago, you don't know when you're going to be in Chicago. Just like De'Eric and Mika them in the Athens area, you don't know when you're going to be there. Barry in Atlanta, you don't know when you're going to be there. Sean them in South Carolina, you don't know when you're going to be there. Brother Harrison is in California, you don't know when you're going to be there. Brother Ernest is in Denver, you don't know when you're going to be there. So that's why we had to be tied in together, because you don't never know. No, they're in the area. Athens ain't, I'm just saying in the general vicinity. I think they in Midgeville, but I have to ask them. I think they moved from out of there, but I don't think they're too far from you, though. I'm trying to think of, Kira and Pahokee. You don't never know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you don't never know. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it in that perspective, that's why you be tied in, because you don't never know. You don't never know where you're gonna be at and when you're gonna be there. And if you know it's somebody who share the same faith as you, you know what I'm saying? It's good to be tapped in with them. You know what I'm saying? Like what that is, Brother Joseph in LA, Omar in Philly. You know what I'm saying? You don't never know. So you know what I'm talking about? how it got to be. Go ahead, Sid. Can't forget Jessica and Tavon in Massachusetts, but nobody will go up there and cold.
Bro told me they had to they canceled school because of heat advisory.
I bet for sure. They said the heat was like 110 out here today on the heat index. Go ahead, man.
Say, therefore, leaving the principles of the doctrine of Hamashiach, let us go on to perfection.
Let us go on to what?
Perfection.
Let's go on to what?
Perfection.
That's right.
Not laying again the foundation of repentance from dead works.
That's right.
And faith toward Elohim.
That's right.
The doctrine of baptisms and of laying on of hands, the resurrection of the dead, and of eternal judgment. And this will we do if Elohim permit.
Indeed.
For it is impossible for those who are once enlightened and have tasted
look at the Lord. See, Sister Jazzy says she ain't awesome, Marvin. Look at the Lord. Go ahead, man. Read that again.
Say, for it is impossible for those who are once enlightened and have tasted of the heavenly gift and were made partakers of the Ruach HaKodesh and have tasted the good word of Elohim.
That's good, though. We just want to go on to perfection. You did? It's back to Psalm 51, though.
Have mercy upon me, O Elohim, according to your loving kindness, according unto the multitude of your tender mercies, blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from my iniquity and cleanse me from my sin.
Wash me thoroughly from my what?
From my iniquity and cleanse me from my sin.
Now, Yahushua told his disciples, you clean from the word that I've spoken unto you. So we see that the multitude of his mercies is what cleanse sin. But let's continue, though.
For I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sin is never.
But see, he won't be able to do that with his loving kindness unless you acknowledge it. And that's what a lot of people want to do. Go ahead.
Against you only have I sinned
and done
this evil in your sight.
That you might be what?
Justified when you speak.
And be clear.
When you judge.
Behold.
I was shapen in iniquity.
And in what?
Sin did my mother conceive.
Go ahead and give him shaping, man. We know what iniquity is. That's Avon.
That is Kayil, to twist, whirl, dance, writhe, fear, tremble, travail, to be in anguish, to be pain. Or to be brought forth.
He said you was brought forth in the consequence of iniquity, or you have the anxiety of iniquity. And in Katah did your mother conceive you. Go and tell them what sin is there, man. You can read them iniquity too after the fact. Ain't no need to skip it.
Okay, this is sin, guilt for sin, punishment for
the guilt or the punishment for sin. And in Adam, we all die. So that's really what that means. Your mother conceived you in sin or the guilt or the punishment of sin, because in Adam we all die. And you have the anxiety of death. That's why he say to free them from, read it for him, Hebrews 2:13. I think, I got a message the other day that I said that YouTube say you can message each other directly now. So if that's the case, take advantage of that, and say like them old New York niggas used to say, man, and send each other your mathematics.
Saying again, I will put my trust in him. And again, behold, I and the children which Elohim have given me. For as much then as the children are partakers of flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same, that through death he might destroy him that had the power of death.
That is
the devil.
That
and deliver them who through fear of death were all their lifetime subject to bondage.
Who through fear of what?
Through fear of death. He said, for truly he took not on him the nature of Malachim.
That's why he said, behold, I was shapen in iniquity. Because you had a fear of death. You've been freed from that. You know what I'm saying? So you free. Kosher. Read it for him, Civic. Psalm 88 and 5. Then we go back to Leviticus, man.
Free among the dead.
Like free among the who?
Among the dead.
Like the slain.
That lie in the grave. You remember no more. And they are cut off from your hand.
Free among the dead, man. Kosher. Without tax, debt, or obligation. You are free. Unless why he say, man, let the dead bury the dead. Those who live and believe in me shall never taste death. You believe that? So he was having a conversation last night, right? And it was a good conversation just from this perspective, man. Talking about the Lord's return. And how, you know what I'm saying? My man was looking at it in this perspective. When you look at the definition of his coming. Do this for me, Sid. Go to Matthew 24 and 1. And his perspective was a good perspective, because I see some people had an issue with it, but scripturally I see it 100% what he was expressing, I had no issue with it. Go ahead.
Yahuah went out and departed from the temple. His disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. Yahuah said unto them, see you not all these things? Truly I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. As he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying,
what they said?
Tell us, when shall these things be? What shall be the sign of your coming?
What will be the sign of your what?
Of your coming.
Tell them what coming mean in the Greek. Man.
That is parousia, that is presence, the coming, arrival, advent.
Now, I can give you what advent means, but one of those definitions is presence. What y'all think that means? How you look at that, Civic? Oh, I was supposed to hear advent. Now, when you look at advent by definition, it's a 4-week session in the Christian calendar leading up to Christmas. My Lord. Coming from the Latin adventus, meaning coming or arrival. It is a time of expectant waiting, reflection, and preparation. The first advent, remembering, celebrating the birth of Yahushua HaMashiach in a manger. The second advent, anticipating and preparing for the promised return. Now, when you look at coming and arrival, do this for me, Civic. Go to Mark 13. Shalom, that. Oh, I didn't know you moved down now.
What verse?
Oh, that's your daddy. Oh, dang. I didn't even know that. What it is? What did I just ask you for?
Mark 13.
Oh, 13 and 23.
But take you heed, behold, I have foretold you all things. But in those days after that tribulation, the sun shall be darkened, the moon shall not give her light. The stars of Shamaim shall fall, the powers that are in Shamaim shall be shaken. Then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and esteem.
He'll see him coming in the what?
In the clouds with great power and esteem.
See, read coming again. Let's see if it should be the same Greek word.
And this one is komai, that is to come. Metaphorically, to come into being, to arise, to come forth, to show itself, to find place for influence, to be established. To
now notice it say to come to being or show oneself. But continue. I'm gonna show y'all this point, and then I'm gonna see what y'all perspective on it. Go ahead.
And then shall he send his Malachim, and shall gather together his elect from the 4 winds, from the uttermost part of the earth to the uttermost part of Shamaim. Now learn the parable of the fig tree, where the branch is yet tender and put forth leaves. You know that summer is near.
Yeah, I know this is an exit ramp, but just bear with me. Go ahead.
So you in like manner, when you shall see these things come
Are you in Indiana, Sis Regina? I ain't know that.
Know that it is near, even at the doors. Truly I say unto you, that this generation shall not pass till all these things are done. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. But of that day and that hour, no man, no, not the Malachim which are in Shamim, neither the Son, but the Abba. Take you heed, watch and pray, for you know not when the time is. The Son of Man is as a man taking a far journey. Who left his house and gave authority to his servants, and to every man his work, commanded the porter to watch. Watch you therefore, for you know not when the master of the house comes.
Now here's my question for y'all. What do y'all perceive from what you understand from the text what the coming of the Son of Man will look like? Will he appear? Is he coming from a long distance? How do you perceive that look? I don't want to share the passage that we discussed quite yet. Based off perusio, because perusio means for his presence. Because there's 2 particular passages in the text that'll speak to why we read this. So what are y'all point of view of what you believe that it will look like as far as you understand in the text at the Lord's return? I give y'all a moment. Don't rush now. Don't everybody speak at one time or type at one time. See, we're going to have to get StreamYard. To see StreamYard, you can come up live. Because some of y'all remember when we had the doggone conference call, I sit there and wait. I ain't saying nothing. Ain't nobody gonna answer. Y'all can buck. You can buck me now. But you really can buck me on stream, y'all too, because you have to actually come on there. But you get the point. You couldn't buck me on the conference call. Well, I mean, from what y'all understand, based off the definition of perusio and the second definition, coming or appearing or showing. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to show himself on the clouds or return. From what do y'all think that looks? Because remember, right? I be in theological spaces, so this is a theological question. You dig? You know what I'm saying? So this is a theological question. This isn't a because that's when you, like I told y'all before, when you're in theological spaces, they think about things that y'all might not be like, I would have never thought of that. You know what I'm saying?
Amos 5:20.
Go ahead and read it.
It says, shall not the day of Yahuah be darkness and not light, even very dark and no brightness in it?
Okay, so you looking at that. He's talking, what they were discussing is literally, what do you believe Yahushua's return is going to look like? Like some people expect for him, like, okay, I give you an example. Most One West organizations, I mean, however you see it, because I can't really give the passage that we read last night for his point of view without really blowing the whole thing up. Because I just want to see y'all point of view, and then we could juxtapose. Because this ain't nothing I sit around and think about. You know what I'm saying? But we was having this conversation last night or the night before, whatever day it was. The days run together. You know what I'm talking about? But say like One West organizations look at it like he coming. What's up, Godmother? He coming on a UFO. You know what I'm saying? Because to say he coming with the clouds, scripturally just mean he coming in the heavens. So when you look at that word wise, you're gonna go into Genesis 1. You're gonna see the firmament coming in the heavens. It's not what people, you know what I'm saying? It's not as fantastic as we would like it to be. You know what I'm saying? Reading Revelation 1:7 real fast.
And behold, he come with clouds. Every eye shall see him. They also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, they.
Now notice it said that he coming with the clouds. Now, I know it's hard to really answer this question without a lot more information pertaining to it, because obviously we don't think and discuss about these type of things. But I'm gonna show you what my man's was talking about. 2 Kings chapter 6 and verse 8. The other one is going to be in Psalms 91. And it's mainly because of the definition of perusio, the first definition, which is presence of what he holds his point of view. Go ahead. Indeed.
Then the king of Syria.
Well, I put it this way. It's a thought-provoking question with my dog because he's a thought-provoking man. Some people, never mind. Go ahead.
Then the king of Syria warred against Yasharal and took counsel with his servants, saying, in such and such a place shall be my camp.
Mm-hmm.
The man of Elohim sent unto the king of Yasharal,
beware
that you pass not such a place, for there the Syrians are come down.
And the Malak,
Yasharal sent to the place which the man of Elohim told him and warned him of,
saved himself there.
Not once nor twice.
Therefore,
the heart of the king of Syria was sore troubled for this thing.
And he called his who?
His servant
said unto them,
will you not show me which of us is for the king of Yasharal?
And one of his
servant said, none, my lord, O king, but Elisha,
the
prophet
that
is in Yasharal,
tell
the king of Yasharal, the words that you speak in your bedchamber.
And he said,
go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him.
Therefore,
was told, therefore sent he their horses and chariots.
Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped that. It said, fetch him. He said, and it was told him,
saying, behold, he is in Dothan.
Dothan. Go ahead.
It's
a city in Alabama, actually. Go ahead.
Therefore sent he their
He said, I've always been resided that he's coming back in the same way he left. Indeed. And that's what it said, right? But and this is what he's talking about, Brother Ernest. He's more so talking about what does that return look like to the physical eye. You know what I'm saying? That's what the conversation was about. So, 2 Kings 6, we're in verse 14 at the moment. And that's probably the best way for me to put it. What does that look like by the physical eye? Because I don't really know a lot of people's teachings as it pertains to that. Outside, the only thing we just really discuss is he coming in the heavens. They more so looking at, people think like, oh, is he coming from a different galaxy? Because he coming on a quote unquote UFO, this, that, there, and the third. And just read this here, and you're gonna see what it look like. Come on with it, man. Verse 14, 2 Kings.
Therefore sent he their horses and chariots and a great host, and they came by night and compassed the city about.
What else?
When the servant of the man of Elohim was risen early
and gone
forth,
behold,
a host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots.
And his servant said unto him,
Alas, my master, how shall we do?
And he answered him, what?
Fear not.
Why?
For that be with us.
They that be with us
are more than they that be with them.
And now listen what Elisha prayed for. And
said, Lord Yahuah, I pray you, open his eyes that he may see.
He wanted him to do what?
Open his eyes that he may see.
He wanted him to do what?
Open his eyes that he may see.
And Yahuah did what?
Open the eyes of the young man.
And he saw what?
And behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha.
He saw the reverb. Hold on. He said, no, that white horse in Revelation is actually a white physical horse. It could be, or it could be symbolic. That'd be 100% honest with you. Read verse 17 again.
When Elisha prayed and said, Yahuah, I pray you, open his eyes that he may see.
He opened his eyes that he may what?
See.
And Yahuah did what?
Opened the eyes of the young man.
And he what?
He saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha.
Notice this what happened. When he opened his eyes, this man seen a multitude of Malachim around them. The presence was there the entire time, but his physical eye could not see it. And when you opened his eyes, they appeared, and they were there, which would be the Greek personification of Peruzo, which is his presence. Now remember, go to Psalms 91. This is the same token like when you read in Daniel, when Daniel got the vision, and the men that were with him could not see what he saw, but they heard the voice. The same way that with Paul, he seen Yahushua, the men around him did not. You know what I'm saying? They didn't see it. So when you see in the 2 Kings is, if you could, and Mother Sharona mentioned the meeting in the clouds, and that would be us meeting him in the heavens. You know what I'm saying? If you would. Because, and I know, and I really mentioned it because that's how we really look at it. That's how it's depicted. Like he coming on something from somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? My homeboy was more so like, it's not that he's coming. And I'm going to be full disclosure. The man who was discussing this is discussing this, and he don't subscribe that Yahushua is the Son of God. That'd be the ugly part for the niggas who do, because he got a better understanding of a man who he don't even believe in. And when I say believe in, he don't believe he the Son of God, according to the text. You know what I'm saying? But I be telling them, let me find out. One day you're going to be converted. You know what I'm talking about? On your own. But that's another conversation for another day. You know what I'm saying? But listen. When you look at what you've seen with the Syrians, right? It said that Elisha had to tell this man, don't be fearful. Those that are with us are greater than them. And he like, how? And he said, Yahuah opened his eyes. Another point. When Balaam was on that donkey, the Malachim was there the whole time. The whole time. He couldn't see him. When he opened his eyes, he seen the presence of the Malachim. Malachim was there the whole time. We're going to get it Psalm 91. I got to get the right verse. Hold on. What is that? There it is. Hold on. Say, honestly, I would even go back to the beginning with the days of Noah as the days of Noah. No one ever saw that rain at the time. So the reaction would be similar, but more powerful, in my opinion. And that's fair. Psalms 91:7. This is Psalms 91:7.
1,000 shall fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you.
Only.
With your eyes shall you behold and see the reward of the wicked.
Because
you have made Yahuah, which is my refuge, even the Most High, your habitation.
Listen.
There shall no evil befall you, neither shall any plague come near your dwelling.
For he shall do what?
Give his Malachim charge over you.
To give his Malachim what?
Charge over you.
To keep you what?
In all your ways.
Now tell him what charge means. Now you got to think about something, right? If the Malachim got charge over you, that means they're there. I think, and you know, I have to look into the historically whether idea of guardian angels come from? Because I ain't ever took the time to do it. We can give a brief overview. Go ahead, give them charge.
This is sabah, to command, charge, to give orders, to lay charge, to give charge to order.
Malakim, he gives his Malakim commands and orders. You said you had a dream a long time ago and it wasn't good, my Lord. To keep you. Give him keeping ways just in case they don't know.
And keep it shamar, to keep.
So y'all know that's the guard.
To give heed, to have charge of.
And y'all know what way is going to be.
And that is the rock, the way, the road, the distance, the journey, the manner.
Now, we got a brief overview of guardian angels. They said that this is a spiritual being created directly by God, according to Judeo-Christian theology and various historical traditions. And the historical traditions is probably going to be more than anything than what you're going to get out of the text. They are a distinct order of celestial messengers assigned to protect and guide human souls from birth or conception unto death. The concept originates from several historical, cultural, and religious traditions. Scriptures frequently mention divine protection and angelic messengers. The book of Psalms famously notes, he will command his angels concerning to guard you in all your ways. In the New Testament, Yahuah says, see that you despise not one of these little ones. For I say unto you that the angels in heaven continually see the face of my Father. Read Matthew 18:10. It looked like they quoted that wrong. Prominent early church scholars such as Origen and St. Jerome and later theologians like St. Thomas Aquinas expanded on biblical verses, theorizing that every single human soul is assigned a personal angelic guardian at birth. And see, that's where it comes from. The advent that you see that, see, they took that. No, everybody doesn't necessarily have an angel assigned to them at birth, but those who are in his covenant, he telling, because obviously when you read, go back up into verse 1 of Psalm 91, he that dwell in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. If you're abiding in his secret place, you know what you're going to have to be, Civic, in covenant with him. Why am I mentioning all of this? Because this would mean that you have a covenantal friendship alliance with him. And if the law tell you that you should love your neighbor as you love yourself, and he said, who is my brother, who is my mother, who is my sister, but he that do the will of Elohim, then he's going to love you as he loves himself, based off the friendship alliance that they have. Same token how we still got it, because we could deal with that with Jonathan and David, that they had a covenant. He said, the love that I have for you surpassed the love of women, because people don't understand that's the love of God they talking about, blood. But people go to homo stuff because you're a degenerate pervert. Nevertheless, Zoroastrianism, and this is from the Persians. You know, this is a particular deity. Many historians believe the concept of personal divine guides was heavily influenced by the ancient Persian Zoroastrian traditions, where every person is accompanied by a guardian spirit called a Fravashi or Arda Fravas. In Islam, the concept of the Muqabbat refers to the shifting group of guardian angels that alternate in watching over humans and protecting them from harm by God's commands. Broader spiritual beliefs in modern New Age and non-denominational spiritualities, guardian angels are widely viewed as a form of non-physical spirit guides, celestial energy, or higher consciousness meant to offer wisdom and lead individuals back to love. Despite common folklore, guardian angels are not believed to be the spirits of deceased loved ones or ancestors. Rather, they are pure spirits from humanity. Because I was going to mention that because, you know, some people be like, no, my ancestors are guiding me. You know what I'm saying? So that concept comes from Zoroaster. You know what I'm talking about? Scripturally, those who are in covenant with Yahuah, why his angels are there to guard you because you're in covenant with him. You know what I'm saying? Read me Psalms 34, man. Let's see what I want out of that, man. Real quick.
Do you want me to read Matthew 18? Was it 10?
Yeah, 18 and 10. Then we go to Psalms 34 and 1, man.
You say, take heed that you despise not one of these little ones, for I say unto you that in Shamahim, their Malakim do always behold the face of my Abba, which is in Shamahim.
Notice he said, her Malakim. Now, this is going to take back to what we're going to come back to Psalms 34 and read. Psalms 34 and 1. Because listen, if this man got Malakim, got charge over you, their presence is there. You can't see him, though. You know what I'm talking about? And now we have talked about Malachims being present and you can't see them. You know what I'm saying? Now that we have discussed, not necessarily the pop-out presence of Mashiach. But we're just looking at the advent of their presence is there, and then it appears is repeated. That's why I understood completely and wholeheartedly his point of view. You know what I'm saying? Because that Second Kings is one of them. But I know, you know what I'm saying? There's a multitude of them. Because this man don't pray to say open his eyes, and then his eyes open, and there's a whole bunch of Malachims standing right there. Same way you read in Ezekiel when he tell the Malachim stop with a slaughter weapon. The people couldn't see him. He was there though. You know what I'm saying? That Malachim is there. Listen.
Say, I will Baruch Yahuah at all times.
Psalm 34:1. Go ahead.
His praise shall continually be in my mouth.
My soul
shall make her boast in Yahuah.
Humble.
Shall hear thereof and be glad.
Oh, magnify.
Yahuah with me.
Let us exalt
his name together.
I sought
Yahuah, and he heard me.
And delivered me
from all my fears.
They looked unto him.
And were lightened. Their faces were not ashamed.
This poor man, excuse me.
Cried. Yahuah heard
and saved him out of what?
All his troubles.
And the Malachim
of Yahuah encamp round about them that fear him.
The Malachim of who?
Of Yahuah encamp round about them that fear him.
And what he do?
And deliver them.
Tell him what encamp mean.
That is Kana, to decline, incline, to encamp, to bend down, to lay siege against, to encamp.
Now look at an example of that. Daniel 6:16. Now notice he said to the man, that Malachim encamp around all again, this is people who are in covenant with him. That's where people get the game twisted by. It's not a guardian angel that's walking with you. If you're in covenant with him, this is where a long time ago, right? When I first started kicking it with my nigga Manny, man, they was having a conversation about something. And I remember mentioning that I was like, I think I told you about this. My personal perspective of the word. Anyone who is in covenant, because they were talking about women being sexually assaulted and things of this nature. And I was like, I don't believe Yahuah would allow someone in covenant with him to be sexually assaulted. You know what I'm saying? And I don't. Because that's not something that someone would be suffering for the word's sake. See, I know that there's things, because remember he said, hey, man, you would have no power at all against me at all unless it was given to you from on high. So I know that there's certain tribulations and persecutions that those of us in the word would suffer. But that's Yahuah delivering you into these things for his esteem. You know what I'm saying? That a Mashiach might be esteemed through your sufferings, which will redound to a reward in heaven for you. But you just talking about like somebody being in the word and some dude just coming up and randomly physically accosting them sexually, and they actually are in the covenant and the covenant is in them. I don't see that happening to them simply because at that point Yahuah would be a liar. Now, individuals went to mentioning certain things that people did. Like I know they mentioned y'all have mercy on the soul of Sister Joy Morgan, but she wasn't sexually assaulted. Nigga murdered her. Now, I ain't say nothing about nobody not getting murdered. You know what I'm talking about? But, that's another deal. Say, how do those who've experienced it in childhood and adults reconcile going through it, or was it just explained for him to deliver us? See, you looking at abuses, and he is not necessarily referring to abuse. And I can see why you would be confused with that, because when he talking about delivering out of trouble, we ain't in that passage. Was that Psalm 91 that said trouble? Or am I tripping? I got you, Sid. Just go get Daniel 6:16. See, that goes back to something we done discussed before, Mika, like stuff that people do to people per se. Nah, you might not be no in that situation. But being delivered out of certain life situations as it pertains to the word, yeah, he'll do that. Then you have to take into account the things that people do are the things that they do. And we don't, like I said, because we don't see him delivering Tamar from being sexually assaulted by her brother. Just like we don't see him delivering Abel from being murdered by Cain. Or stop David from sleeping with Bathsheba. Or stop Uriah the Hittite from being killed. You know what I'm saying? So that's not that. When we get in what we're gonna see in Daniel, that's where we'll see that at. But like just the evil machinations of man to man. Yeah, he never said that because when he talking about delivering you in ways, that's in your way of life. And it's like he said, he mentioned those that fear him. And I know that'd be confusing to people because you think, well, where was God at? And he never said that he would do those things. I know we have an expectation on that. Well, if he's a merciful and mighty and great God, why doesn't he do X, Y, Z? You know what I'm saying? And from a human point of view, I could understand why people would say that. Proverbs 19:3, real fast. It's not an invalid point of view to say the least.
13.
19:3.
Say the foolishness of man pervert his way, and his heart fret against Yahuah.
Indeed. I think Omar mentioned that the other day. And given what fret means.
That is to fret, to be sad, to be wroth, to be vexed, to be enraged, to be out of humor, to be angry.
Yeah. So I definitely have questions now where was he? The only thing I know is he allowed me to live, but the damage and stuff left over it is a challenge to heal or fix. Indeed. Have been having and I get it. And you look at it as people look at it as, well, why didn't he protect me? Why didn't he stop this, that, and the third? And at that point, everybody have to look at that. Why didn't he stop this murder? Or why didn't he stop this? And then when you look at something, why did he stop it for this person and why he didn't stop it for me? You know what I'm saying? So, word-wise, that's just not something that he ever said he would do. Now, when you look at Daniel, this is what we're going to look at as somebody who's being persecuted for the word's sake. When you see certain stuff get stopped, Malachims doing certain things, like, Malachims would be able, like, because, Satan tempted Yahuah with this. And I didn't read verse 12. You can go back and read it. Read Psalm 91 and 11. You can read verse 12. Where it be situations where you could die and he stop it. But it's for situations where the Malachim deliver you out of it. You know what I'm saying? But when it's situations of what people do to people, you don't have too many instances. There's instances where he calls situations to not happen to an individual. You know what I'm saying? Like case in point with Sarah and Amalek. You know what I'm saying? And that was simply to keep Amalek from sinning against him because he knew Amalek was a righteous man. You know what I'm saying? Or Abimelech, was a righteous man. You know what I'm talking about? But outside of that, yeah, you don't really read that nowhere. Many said that that's why Mel Gibson movie Signs was about when his wife died, he blamed the Most High. A lot of people do. I've been talking to somebody who was like, he know a few people who walked away from the word because some of their people died, they blame God. And I'm like, how can you blame God for something that is inevitably going to occur? Everybody gonna die. And you don't know when you're gonna die. And then people be mad with God. And that comes from the emotional attachment that people had to somebody. Why my wife? Well, what make your wife better than the next man's wife who died? Or what make your child better than the next man's child who died? Your child or your wife ain't no more important than the wife and child of the next person. You know what I'm saying? But of course, death and physical assault is a different type of mental response for people. You dig? You know what I'm saying? If you've been mentally, well, let me set the mental to the side. If you've been physically or sexually assaulted, especially as a youth, you know what I'm saying? That's going to do something to your brain drastically different than, necessarily somebody passing away. You know what I'm saying? Because depending on your age, people going to pass away. You don't mentally prepare yourself to be sexually or physically assaulted. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, these are natural human reactions. Even what Mika mentioned, that's a natural human response. And of course, this is the framework of we looking at Yahuah as a human being. Like my dog was messing with somebody about this, clowning decent. You know what I'm saying? Because dude was acting a particular type of way, and he was like, he said, I know what happened to you. He said your mother had your stepfather in your house, and your stepfather caused you to perform fallacious sexual acts upon him, and you was wondering why was there no one there to protect you from him. Same way we used to talk about how Jesse Lee Peterson used to say how some men be mad at their father from not protecting them from their mother. You know what I'm saying? And the things that your mother may have or refrain from doing for you. You know what I'm saying? Or to you, if you would. So we tend to humanize him and say, well, why didn't he come through in the gap and protect me? But he's not a human being. You know what I'm saying? And as we discussed in previous times, man, and he never said that I'm going to come through and protect an individual. He said he would render judgment to an individual for doing so. Because at that point, we would have to look at where does it stop? Because at that point, if he's going to deliver one person for murder, he got to deliver them all. And if he deliver one person from an assault, he got to deliver them all. Because then you're going to look at, well, why he ain't deliver this person? And then people going to have a problem with that. And understandably so from a human point of view. But the reality is, it's just evil people out here, man. And there's no rhyme, reason, or purpose why some evil things happen to some people. You know what I'm saying? Some people be wanting to come up with, well, what did God hate me or this, that, there, and the third? And he had nothing to do with it. Unfortunately, you can be born to some evil, demented, degenerate people. Because it's one thing that none of us get to have a choice in. That's being born, and that's who you're born to. You don't get a choice in that, unfortunately. Because I think for most of us, if your people was poor, you would have chose not to be with poor people. But then he go to trade-off. Your people might have had bread, but then they won't love you like your people love you. You know what I'm saying? Then you got some people that you born into where people are abusing you. And then you look at, well, why would God drop me here? But in reality, God didn't drop you there. Your people was horny and they produced you, and unfortunately, they shouldn't have reproduced. Yeah. And these are harsh realities, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately. Come on, Psalm 91 and 11.
Say, for he shall give his Malachim charge over you to keep you in all your ways. They shall bear you up in their hands, lest you dash your foot against a stone.
So that means they're going to lift you up in their hands, lest you dash your foot against the stones. So go to Daniel 6 and 16.
Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. And the king spake and said unto Daniel, your Elohim whom you serve continually, he will deliver you. And the stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den. The king sealed it with his own signet, and with the signet of his lords, that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. And the king went to his palace.
For those of you who don't know, Daniel was president. King loved him. The men who hated him wanted to find reason of occasion of speech against him. They said, we'll know what we'll do. I'll just read it from the top for those who don't know. Just stay where you at. It might be somebody that don't know nothing about what I'm talking about. You look at Daniel 6 and 1, right? It pleased Darius to set over the Malkuth 120 princes, which should be over the whole kingdom, over these three presidents, of whom Daniel first, that the princes might give accounts unto them, that the king should have no damage. Then this Daniel was preferred above the president and princes because an excellent ruach was in him. And the Malachim thought to set him over the whole realm. The Malach, thought to set him over the whole realm. So, of course, you see the testimony already. Those of you who've been around here for a long time, you know what direction this is going. So you've got Daniel, who was the first, Yahuah being the first begotten from the dead, that he might have preeminence in all things. He is set. He has an excellent spirit. The king sets him over the whole realm. Yahuah had an excellent spirit. Let me tell you what excellent spirit is. I won't say stay where you're at because it is already after 11. And we got the roll. Now you got Yatir Ruach, and a Yatir Ruach is Yad, Tau, and Rosh, and that is preeminent, surpassing, extreme, extraordinary, exceedingly extreme. very exceeding, excellent, or preeminent. Same thing. That's why I mentioned that's what it said in Colossians, that he might be. Hold on, let me read it for you, so nobody don't think we making stuff up. Because niggas be hating in the cut. See, tell them why they got their nuts crossed, man. That's how you get testicular cancer, and you don't want that. This is the epistle to the Colossians 1:15. Who is the image of the invisible Elohim, the firstborn of every creature. And that goes back to the point we were talking about earlier. Because you read in Isaiah 45, he says, surely you are Elohim that hide yourself. This is Isaiah 45, about 15 to 17, somewhere in there. You know what I'm talking about? So if this is the invisible Elohim, he's invisible because he said the world was framed with things that you cannot see. So the invisible Elohim presence is there, though your eyes can't lay hold on it. You know what I'm talking about? But he is there. But let's continue. For by him were all things created that are in Shamaim and that are in the earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him. And he is before all things. And by him all things consist. He is the head of the body, the assembly, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in all things he might have the what, Civic? The preeminence, excellency. So that's why I mentioned that, because when you sit back from the testimony point, that he has a preeminent or excellent ruach. And Yahushua had a preeminent or excellent ruach. But let's continue in verse 4 of Daniel 6. Then the president and princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the Malkuth. But they could find none occasion nor fault. For as much as he was faithful, neither was there any error or fault found in him. And the scribes and Pharisees went to find fault, but they couldn't find none because he was faithful and there wasn't no sin in it. That goes back to what we were talking about. Get that meat offering, Civic. And when you get that meat offering, what you can't make it with? Leaven. Can't have no leaven in it. See how that works? Then they said, these men, we shall not find any occasion against this Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the law of his Elohim. That's how they came at Yahushua. Oh, he said he be the son of God. He blasphemed. And this goes to the point of your persecution. These people ain't going to be able to find no fault with you, so they're going to have to find fault with you by the word to be able to have means to accuse you. See, a lot of people don't got no fault with you. They just be running their gator. You know what I'm saying? Running their wee suckers. That's what most people be out here doing. Because they mad, they miserable, they're detestable individuals in every shape, form, or fashion. Then he to tell you, some shoot their arrows at the perfect in secret, because that's what some people do, because they envy. Listen, man, you got a lot of miserable people who walk this earth. And I'm not talking about they miserable because they had unfortunate life circumstances. And some people are miserable because they had unfortunate life circumstances. And when I say unfortunate life circumstances, I'm not talking about what we were just discussing, that heinous and detestable actions had been perpetrated on them by a degenerate. I had an adjective in my mind, but my brain stopped. Individual. You know what I'm saying? So this is dealing with people who, you got people out here, they just did, life didn't go the way they wanted it to, and they hate everybody because they're a loser, because they're a bum. Because there's a lot of losers out here. You know what I'm saying? He said, is that also like reject could be protection? To an extent, because I know a lot of people look at that. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't look at rejection as protection per se. I just look at it like how I say, lead us not into temptation. Because a lot of times you don't get put in positions where you would be tried, so you can see that you really can't handle what it is what you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? But I know that's the common terminology. I'm not saying it's wrong terminology, but just based off what's expressed in the text, the best thing to look at is you weren't led into temptation. And that's how that was your protection. You know what I'm saying? But rejection being protection is not a faulty point of view. I just want to give, so y'all can, when you see it in the text, you be like, okay. Because that's what he told you to pray for in the civic. Lead us not into temptation. And he told you in every temptation, he make a what? An exit. Sometimes what you don't look at is what you didn't get was really your exit. Because he said he will not tempt you above what you are able to bear. And the reality is that most of us think that we can handle way more than you can actually handle. You know what I'm saying? Like even we were talking about that last week about strength. Sometimes you'll find out you not as strong as you thought you were. And that's why I reference with that, even with the you not able to bear every temptation like you think. You think that means that you're a loser. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like a situation you get tried, you find out you weren't as strong as you thought you were. We get it in our mind that you're a loser. And that's just the normal, natural human reaction to, dang, well, I thought I had it all together and I didn't. But the reality is, like Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians 3, some things get set to the fire and that which remains is kept to the day of salvation. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you get showed does not necessarily mean that you're a loser. Because this is what you don't get. If he showed you weren't that strong, that means he loved you. Like my dog say this about my other homeboy all the time. He was like, man, God don't love you because look how you think. He don't correct you. We don't be realizing the situations and circumstances that make you think you a loser really mean God loved you. That's why he's showing it to you. You know what I'm saying? Because if he didn't love you, he'd let you stay like that. And we don't consider that because most of us are black. So most of us grew up hearing, if I didn't care about you, I let you do whatever. You know what I'm saying? So when you look in the law, he said, hey man, don't despise the chastening of Yahuah, for whom Yahuah loveth he chasten. As many as I love, I chasten and rebuke, be zealous therefore and repent. So we think, oh man, I got into a temptation and I thought I could bear it and I couldn't. He could have let you not know that you couldn't bear it and let you fulfill that temptation and stay like that. You know what I'm saying? That's right. And if you aren't, you're a bastard. You know what I'm saying? So I'll just be mentioning certain things to shift the perspective, to shift your thought process, because most of us don't come from being a part of things where getting incrementally better every day is the goal. And even if you got shown that you were doing something and you needed to change it so you could be better, you don't get down on yourself, which is a part of coaching from an athletic standpoint. You know what I'm saying? You don't come in and say, look at this stupid bastard. You don't know how to backpedal. You trash can dummy. Nah, you sit back and show them, see, you thought your technique was good. You got in the game. You got burned. So we're going to come back in here and we're going to show you how to perfect your technique so that that doesn't happen again. Because, see, you thought you could rely on your physical ability and you ran across somebody who was more technically sound than you and he got you out there on that route tree and now you out here looking like a dummy. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't get your hips opened up fast enough. You in your back pedal, you turn, you fell on your face, you embarrassed. And you think everybody laughing at you. And they may be laughing at you. But those who are there to coach you are going to be sitting back and look at, come over here so we can coach you up. I know you thought you was ready, but see, you wasn't ready as you thought you were. We had to let you learn that. He said, that's how I just looked at my diagnosis. All the thoughts I was having had me reevaluate myself. Indeed. And the thoughts that you were having, to be honest with you, were normal. You know what I'm saying? If you recall, towards the end of 2025, we focused intently on what? Understanding that you're a human being. That's another aspect that y'all have to learn to do. Someone being a human being don't mean they faith weak. Somebody being a human being don't mean they don't trust God. Case in point, I'm exceedingly sorrowful even unto death. If it be possible, let this cup pass. Y'all have to allow space for everyone to be a human being. Because the time when you're going to be a human being, you're going to want somebody to allow space for you to be one. And then you're going to be upset when they don't because you didn't. You know what I'm saying? You got to let that person, and I just use her as an example because she volunteered it. You have to allow this person to cycle through every thought, every emotion. Let them express it. You know what I'm talking about? And then give them strength word-wise so that those thoughts and feelings don't consume them. You know what I mean? That's how you do that. But you got to give them space we just can't hit them off with just trust God. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Listen, I was just telling somebody this other day, man. Niggas be dying from physical maladies, talking about, I'm going to just trust God. That's what he gave you herbs for, dummy. That's what he gave you physicians for. You can read this in the book. But you expected him to come up and say, voila, high blood pressure go away. Voila, cancer going to go away. That man ain't never did that, blood. Even with Hezekiah getting healed, what did he do? He went and sought God for that. Nigga just gets you, but you know what that really be? It's a difficult situation and circumstance. I don't want to deal with it. So my thought process, I'm going to just give it to God so I don't have to deal with it. Because I'm scared and I don't know how to say I'm scared and how do I go about that. So you lay that at his feet and he looking at me. The tools are right there, dummy. I gave them to you. And you didn't even ask me how to use them. You could have asked me how to use them. Yeah, don't go out like that. Let me see, they say, people who know me always tell me I'm resilient, but my faith isn't strong. I always say, sometimes I have a mustard seed. But, well, see, resiliency and faith are two different things. Because you could have resiliency naturally. The thing is that the things that are causing the pain and the emotions overpower your faith in the word, because and this is not a negative thing, because it falls back on God. Why do you let this happen to me? You know what I'm saying? These are not irregular thoughts. These are not, none of this is, I need to make sure that I express that at the highest level. None of these things are irregular, ungodly, unfaithful, or any of that. These are normal human thoughts because you are a human being. You know what I'm saying? And some things, when certain things occur, you don't understand. It's the same way when there's certain stuff your children ask you questions because they don't understand. That's like I tell you, like this here, we have certain expectations. You can't expect extreme understanding from somebody who doesn't have the level of wisdom and understanding that you have. You know what I'm saying? I told you before, when it comes to that, to strengthen it, it's releasing the weight. Now, as I told you in the past, it's easier said than done. But the longer you carry it, the harder it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's that verbally it sounds so easy to do, but you who are willing the day that you actually do it, you'll be like, it was really that easy. You know what I'm saying? But in the moment when that stuff be on your top, and you know what I'm saying, this, that, and the third, it don't seem that easy. But that's why he told you perfect love cast out fear. So the perfection of your love towards God is what to cast that stuff out. Because until that time, like I said, it's going to torment you. Not torment in the way that we look at torment as forth as like people being in hell, but it's going to trouble you mentally. It's going to trouble you spiritually. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, right now, it don't seem that way. But you who are willing in the day that you let that stuff go, you're going to realize it was really that easy as just simply letting it go. You know what I'm saying? The more that you allow space for the word and for Yahuah to be present, the less space that pain, those thoughts have to dwell. So, you know what I'm saying? Got to push that stuff out, let the Lord in. You know what I mean? But yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's how you got to deal with that, because, man, y'all human beings, man. You human beings. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Praise you. You're human beings. You know what I'm saying? And y'all have to allow each other to cycle through the human experience and reinforce faith in Yahuah in the midst of that. And again, that's why we always reference that example. When Yahuah was a man, he says, a man, I'm depressed to the point I want to die. Now imagine if some of y'all would have been standing there, oh, his faith ain't that strong. He talking about he feel like he want to die. What kind of response is that? What kind of thought is that? You're not even sitting back looking at, this man been telling us he finna get hung from a tree. You know what I'm saying? Now that time coming, shoot, I wouldn't want to get hung from it either. I'd be nervous about it. Do you understand what it would feel like to have somebody take nails and mash them in your hands and feet, blood? Like, think about that, man. Like, think about that. What type of response did you expect him to have? Doing backflips? The man had already sung a hymn, but the closer it got to it, the realization of being a human being. Man, I'm finna die. Matter of fact, I feel like I want to die right now. Please let this cup pass. But then that's where the faith coming at. But not my will be done, your will be done. And even still, because we talked about it last week, Malachim to strengthen it. Because the difference is he didn't faint in the day of his adversity. He didn't fall out. You know what I'm saying? But even with that still, let me go strengthen that boy up, man. Same thing he told Elijah, man. He said, well, you're going to need some strength on this journey. You know what I'm talking about? This man said, man, hey, man, they done did this, they done did that. Man, go ahead and kill me. He said, no, rise and eat, man. Get your son a drink. You're going to need your strength. You're going to need your strength. So these are the aspects when you look at, Malachim in your presence, keep you, you know what I'm saying, in the way, things of that nature. That's how that roll. You understand? That's how that roll. Bro, put up something up, man. James 5:7. You can make it 14. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to look at it that way, man. Because like I said, I've been in this a long time. By the grace of Yahuah, man. And like I said, man, some of y'all done been through some things. I've been right there with you when you went through it. I ain't never look at you and be like, why you thinking this way? Why you feeling this way? Because I know you a human being. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't expect. See, if somebody said this today, because we was having a conversation, we clowning, you know what I'm saying? Like, you told me, I want to get back to talking about the Bible. I'm like, man, why y'all niggas be fronting like y'all talk about the word 24/7, nigga? I already know you wicked as hell when you fronting like that. And people who like that give those fake responses to people and have those fake expectations of people when life hit them. See, pause for a moment in your brain, if you would, is what I mean. Let's look at Yahuah himself. When Yahuah seen people dealing with certain things in their life that they were approaching them with, he ain't talk to them people crazy. You know what I'm saying? When that man came and said, Lord, increase my faith, he ain't talk to him crazy. He said, man, my baby dead. When that man was in that pool talking about, man, I ain't had nobody to come put me, he ain't talk to that man crazy. When they came and told him Lazarus was dead, he ain't talk to them crazy. These still people. Like what you expect from somebody. You expect from somebody to go through a harsh life event, a traumatic life event, difficulties, tribulations, whatever the case may be, and you just expect them, come on, man, what's wrong with you? Is you serious, man? Oh, so I don't know what, man, shoot, they don't trust God like that because they this, that, there, and the third. Man, you bugging. You understand me? You bugging. You tripping. That ain't no love and care right now, man. That don't mean they faith weak because they're a human being, my nigga. Listen. Because Muffin know, because I called and texted like this here, man. Nigga, I'm sitting in here, man. This blood pressure about 242 over 113, 115. So I'm like, shoot, you probably finna die, nigga. So let me go ahead, tap in with my sister, tell her XYZ. Because this might be what it is. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no, your faith ain't strong. Nigga, if I'm finna die, I'm finna die. And that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing you can do about that. If it's time to go, it's time to go. Matter of fact, another thing, you know what I'm saying? Because I had heard clear as day 2 days before my mama died, she was gonna die. You know what I'm saying? And I can literally show you, because it happened on the Sabbath, I can literally show you the video in the exact instance when it came in my brain, oh, she gonna die. That's on a Friday. She died on a Monday. My sister told me, like, she could tell, like, oh, you was at peace with it, because I already know what it is. So if I already know what it is, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's not you can't be at peace with it, or you're going to be, no. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at certain stuff, like, okay, if these people came and told me, hey, man, you in renal failure, this, that, there, and the third, and you go to thinking about, hey, man, that's not going to be some old Oh man, God, you're gonna have to have the reality of being a human being, man. You're gonna have to be on dialysis, cuz. If these people tell me, man, you're gonna need open heart surgery, and you got to deal with that. You got to let that person be a human being and feel the things that the flesh is going to feel because you're human. But at the end of the day, the word is your root and foundation, and that will overpower. That's why you have kosher. That's how you free. Because you're not obligated or in debt to that. You can experience that, you can express it, but you don't owe yourself to it. You see what I'm saying? This is where we have to get to spiritually to a maturity level, looking at certain things, man. Remember, he told you in the world you have what, Sid? But be of good cheer, because he what? So that man had already told you that. You know what I'm saying? So if he done told you that, that means you are allowed to go through that. But you can be of good cheer because he got that victory. So in the midst of you feeling whatever you feel and expressing whatever you express it, you can be of good cheer because the victory already been done. The W already on the scoreboard, man. You know what I'm talking about? That's what you got to remember. No matter what you're experiencing, the W is already on the scoreboard. The game has already been won. You know what I'm saying? Like you will be a thing. But let me read this right here. I asked you to read something.
The James 5 and 4.
Run that.
Is any sick among you? Let him call for the elders of the assembly.
That's right.
Let them pray over him, anointing him with oil in the name of the Lord.
Go ahead.
And the prayer of faith shall save the sick, and the Lord shall raise him up. And if he had committed sins, they shall be forgiven.
Go ahead.
Confess your faults one to another, and pray one for another that you may be healed.
Mm-hmm.
The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much.
Availeth much.
Elijah was a man subject to like passions as we are.
As we are. Yet without.
He prayed earnestly that it might not rain, and it rained not on the earth by the space of 3.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he prayed again, and Shamanim gave rain, and the earth brought forth her fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Brethren, if any of you do err from the truth, and one convert him, let him know that he which convert the sinner from the error of his way
Has what? Covered a what?
shall save a soul from death, and shall hide a multitude of sins.
All right, cool. So come back to Daniel 6, right? So then they came out with a decree. This is verse 7, that nobody should make petition to their God for 30 days. Verse 10, based off Psalm 55, Daniel prayed to his God 3 times a day, as he been doing. So because he did that, they locked him up, threw him in the lion's den. Read what verse you in Daniel 6 and 1.
16.
Now, all this stuff I mentioned, and whether y'all realize it or not, with the Malachim is a part of what that peace offering bring, which because we established some of the peace offering sacrifice Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? We was gonna run through some more stuff in Leviticus 3. You know what I'm saying, with the technical aspects of it. Y'all willing we could get to that. You know what I'm saying? But that friendship alliance is, especially with the Malachim being in presence, show you how that love stick closer than a brother. You know what I'm saying? See, let me read that stick close, man. You know that song, man, say closer than close. That's what Nate Dogg told you. You know about that? I ain't know you listen to no West Coast music. So when you look at stick closer, Doc Bop, Dalit, Ba, and Kuf. This is clinging or adhering to, cleave, joining, stick closer. Listen. Now, of course, we read, you can read in Genesis 2 that a man should what? Cleave unto his wife, ain't it, man? Mm-hmm. Let me get cleave for you right there, man. See if it's the same word, man. Cleave to his wife, man. Listen, therefore, man shall leave his father and mother and shall cleave unto his wife, and they'll be one flesh. And guess what, Civic? Same word. Just a slight variation. The cling, stick, stay close, cleave, keep close, stick to, stick with, follow closely, join to be joined together. So when you think about that, especially because I referenced some of that stuff with Adam on Wednesday, man, and he tell you that you should love your neighbor as yourself. And then he that love his wife, loveth himself. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at this love sticking closer to a brother, clinging to, What is that reference to us of what that love is that's clinging close to you, that cleave to you, that you be one flesh? Because he told you that he that's joined to the Lord is one spirit, one Ruach. So when the Ruach HaKadosh is present, that love stick closer than a brother. Can't get no closer than him dwelling in you and you dwelling in him. And if he's dwelling in you and you dwelling in him, and he said, greater love have no man of this, that a man lay his life down for his friends. And I don't call you servants, but I call you friends. Because a servant don't know what his master do. But I've made known unto you all things of my Abba. That's why I call you friends. And he told you the Ruach will bring to remembrance everything that he said unto you. And that peace offering or that shalem represents what? A friendship alliance. So when that sacrifice is made, this is why these Malachim can give you this strength. This is why he can cause you not to dash up against the stones. This is why they can encamp and deliver you. Because there's a friendship alliance there. That we don't even realize that the covenant is basically an example of a friendship alliance. And how do we know this? Because he said, this is the covenant that I make with their fathers in those days. I give them a new heart and a new spirit, that they might keep my statutes and ordinances and do them. You know what I'm saying? That means you can cleave to him. And you will be what? One. And that's a friendship alliance. You know what I'm saying? Or shalem, a peace offering. But go ahead. Daniel 6 and what? Because we got to get off here. It's 11:36.
17.
Daniel 6 and 17.
Saying the stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet, and with the signet of his lords, that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. Then the king went to his palace and passed the night fasting. Neither were instruments of music brought before him, and he slept, and his sleep went from him. Then the king arose very early in the morning and went in haste unto the den of lions. And when he came to the den, he cried with a lamentable voice unto Daniel.
What did he say?
The king spake and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living Elohim, is your Elohim, whom you serve continually, able to deliver you from the lions?
What he told him?
Then said Daniel unto the king, O king, live forever.
Live forever.
My Elohim have sent his Malachim, and have shut the lion's mouth, that they have not hurt me, for as much as before him.
He sent his Malachim and it did what?
Shut the lion's mouth.
That's an example of what we read in Psalms. You know what I'm talking about? 34 and 91. And you know why he did it? Friendship alliance. Remember he said, "Oh Daniel, oh man, greatly beloved." And because since I haven't said it in a while, I'm gonna say it right now. Ain't none of y'all any work. Daniel ain't better than none of y'all. So the same way that Daniel had a testimony in Shamahim that he was greatly beloved, ain't nothing stopping you from having a testimony in Shamahim for you being greatly beloved, other than your faithful obedience to his promises. That's the only difference between us and Daniel. Our level of faithful obedience to his promises. That's the only difference, man. That's it. I say that because, people want to make you think the people who in the text that have a memorial have a level of godliness that you can't attain. But as we just read in that epistle of James, he said, man, Elijah was subject to like passions as we are. And he prayed earnestly that it don't rain. You know what he was telling you? Elijah ain't no better than you. The same way he hearkened to Elijah's voice, he'll hearken to yours. The same way, I'm going to read the last part. I think it's in Mark. And we're going to get off here. Let me find it real fast. I can hear it in my head, but I know it's in Mark. I want to say Mark 9. It's Matthew 9. Matthew 9 and 27. Go ahead.
Yahuah departed thence, two blind men followed him, crying and saying, You son of David, have mercy on us.
Have mercy on us.
And when he was coming to their house, the blind men came to him. Yahuah said unto them, Believe you that I am able to do this? They said unto him, Yea, Lord. Then touched he their eyes, saying, According to your faith be it unto you.
According to their what?
To your faith be it unto you.
According to their what?
Your faith be it unto you.
One more time.
According to your faith be it unto you.
Go ahead.
And their eyes were open. Yahuah straightly charged them, saying, See that no man know.
Listen.
But they, when they were...
That's good. When he went to heal them, he said, man, they said, you believe like, yeah. He said, man, according to the faith that you have, that's how to be done unto you. Matter of fact, I got another one for you. Come over here to Acts. I want to say 24. Statement Paul made. I want to say 24 because that just popped in my mind. Paul make a statement according to that. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. That ain't it. I'm gonna have to put it up on here. That's what we'll stop at, is that in Acts. If I can remember where it's at. What I want, man. I think it's when they was on the boat, man. I don't think I know it was on the boat. Hold on. Acts 27, man. Yeah, 27 for the moment. Oh, there it is right there. I'm looking right at it. It's not 27. I want you to go to Acts 27. You can pick it up at 13 for the moment.
And when the south wind blew softly, supposing that they had obtained their purpose, loosing thence they sailed close by Crete. But not long after there arose against it a tempestuous wind called Euroclydon, and when the ship was caught and could not bear up into the wind, we let her drive.
And running
under a certain island, which is called Clauda,
we had much
work to come by the boat,
which wind
they had taken up, they used helps,
undergirding the
ship,
fearing
lest they should fall into the quicksand,
strike,
sail, and so were driven.
And we being exceedingly
tossed with the tempest,
the next day,
they lightened the ship.
Listen, that go out when he said he did what with the ship?
They lightened
now,
the
I mentioned that from Romans 12, man. Some of y'all need to lighten the ship. Go ahead.
And the third day, we cast out with our own hands the tackling of the ship.
And when
neither sun nor stars in many days appeared, and no small tempest lay on us,
all hope
that we should be saved was then taken away.
But after long abstinence,
Paul stood forth in the midst of them and said, Sirs,
you should have hearkened unto me,
and not have loosed from Crete, and to have gained this harm and loss.
Now I exhort you,
be of good cheer,
for there shall be no loss
of any man's life among you,
but
of the ship.
For there stood by me this night
the Malachim of Elohim, whose I am, and whom I serve.
This is another example of what we read in Psalm 34 and 91, man. Listen, what he told him.
Saying, fear not, Paul, you must be brought before Caesar, and lo, Elohim have given you all them that sail with you.
Everybody in there was delivered simply because Paul was present. And what he said, wherefore,
sirs, be of good cheer.
I believe,
Elohim,
for that it shall be,
even as it was told me.
That's how you had to sit back in the level of faith you got to have. He said, according to your faith, it shall be. Paul knew ain't none of us going to die because I believe it just like it was told to me. I believe it just like it was told to me. If that's what he said it was, then that's what it's going to be. So when he said it, according to your faith, it shall be, man, everything that we're going to get from Elohim going to be according to you. Believe it as it was told to you. Well, we have to believe it as it was told to us through his word. And if you believe that, according to what he said in his word, he said, you'll ask anything in my name, and if it be according to his will, he'll do it. He'll do it. You know what I'm saying? And that is a part of, I don't call you servants, but I call you friends. You know what I'm saying? Looking at the peace offering through the testimony of Yahushua. But hallelujah for Yahushua in the word. I appreciate y'all. I bless y'all in the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua. I love y'all. Y'all with it, man. Doors open at 11:30, man. You know what I'm saying? We won't start y'all with it no later than 12:30 if possible. But the doors open at 11:30, man. You know what I'm saying? You have be advised. Be advised. Peace, brother, my man. We 2 weeks out. Y'all with it, man. You know what I'm saying? So you remember that's June 26, 27, 28. Praise Yahuah indeed. Show them, Sister Jim. You know what I'm saying? They had a meet and greet on the 27th. The 26th, excuse me, Yahuah me. You know what I'm saying? 27, service on, obviously Friday and Saturday. Concert deal on the 27th, man. Cookout on the 28th at the Garden. The flyer is on the community tab. If you're trying to pull up and tap in, you know what I'm saying? We in Jacksonville, Florida. You know what I'm saying? Just holler at me. You know what I'm saying? Make it do what it do. But don't just wait and consider. You know what I'm saying? I ain't have much jokes or nothing for you this evening because I ain't feel like joking. You know what I'm talking about? We needed to weigh that out. Let it be considered, man, so we can be stronger in the way that we need to go. So, you know what I'm saying? It's late, and we got to be on the spot early. So, again, Yahuah Baruch, out the house of Elohim, in the name of Yahushua, man, y'all with it, man, on the morrow. All right, y'all, I'm out of here.